Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Xbox Ultimate Podcast episode. What are we on now? 146. Thank you all for being here. Another slow news week as we await this FTC decision, or not the FTC decision, the Judge Corley decision regarding the preliminary injunction from the FTC versus Microsoft, the ABK deal waiting in the wings. It's gonna be a fun show because we're gonna play the. You know, what happens if and what happens if not. So it'll be a lot of fun speculation today. But thanks to everybody in the chat for joining in on the show. If you do like the content here, make sure you hit that like button and share it out. Sub to the channel, hit the notification bell and all that kind of stuff. It greatly helps us grow. But let's say hello to this amazing panel first. How are you doing, Fuzz? Doing good?
Doing pretty good. Glad to be here with you guys. Man, just doing a lot of racing. The Diablo update screwed up one of my aspects, but I'll get back to that at some point. But man, just waiting the news, playing some games, and I missed out on the beta test for Arc Raider, so that I kind of screwed myself on that.
You didn't
one.
miss much.
But other than that, man, just glad to be here. Let's do this.
Yeah, man. The racer extraordinaire. Just waiting in the wings for Forza. I'm sure you're gonna be like missing in action when that game comes out, I think.
Oh
so,
yeah,
it'll be fun. You know, I usually go to like Jasper and Psycho first, but I got a special. I gotta say to Pong, you know, Pong Soul, man. I just really gotta say thank you. You know, we do PM in the PM every week. You know, we spend our time together doing PM in the PM. It's a special time. I really appreciate you. And we had a blast last night, I gotta say. And it was a fun show, you know. And I just gotta say, I really appreciate that time we spend together each and every week. It really makes my whole week.
What is this setup? Are you buttering me up because I wanna renegotiate our contract that we're gonna go on strike?
Yeah, Pong, we spend every Thursday night together, and you know,
oh my God.
And my whole week is made
better.
Yeah. My whole
You definitely made his whole week.
You made my whole week.
Well, thank you, brother.
Yeah.
I don't know why I deserve that, but okay. Yeah. I'm waiting for the punchline. I really am.
It was already there.
It was already.
What's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's Friday night. We are back here yet again. A short week at work, which is always nice, but it felt like I'd put in a full week. So happy to be here with you, brothers. Talk some gaming. It's been a really slow news week, but you know, there's been a couple cool things. We got some big info on Diablo 4 coming for the new season, and today, if you guys missed it, we got Baldur's Gate 3 live presentation from the devs, which was absolutely incredible. Minus the bestiality / zoophilia section, which was very odd choice by the devs to put that in there, but whatever, they did. But the rest of the game, I'm sold. Like, I didn't think I was going to buy another game before Starfield, but I'm getting Baldur's Gate 3. Like, the last 4 months of this year are now set for me. Like, I can't believe how good Baldur's Gate 3 actually looks. Like, I was excited for it, but now that I've watched a lot on it, what we were talking about last night, Mav, that it potentially could slide in there as Game of the Year contender, I definitely think it could. This game looks special. Larian is now 400 people strong, like we said, and you can tell why. But the open, just complete anything goes in that game. It's brutal. If you want it to be brutal, it's unbelievable what they showed off today. I was kind of shocked by some of the stuff that they allowed you to do. You can kill your
one specific thing, especially.
Well, that's what I said.
Right.
That's what I said. I said minus the bestiality and zoophilia stuff. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't understand why that's a thing in this game, but okay. But outside of that, again, the ability to kill off your entire party if you want to. Bro, not too many games allow you to do that kind of stuff. So that's right up my alley. I can go full evil in this game, which I always appreciate. letting me do that choice, and it affects everything in this game. And they really showed that off today. So I'm excited, man. This second half of the year, Mav, and we talked about it last night when we started naming off games. Jesus, man, it's stupid.
It's nuts.
How many there are.
Yeah, and we already had such a good year so far with games, and there's still so much coming. Jasper, what's up, man? How are you doing?
Masshole. Shout out to Masshole. He said I was right about Bramble. Glad you gave it a try. Yeah, Bramble is special.
I was playing a little bit of Bramble this morning too. It was pretty good. Jasper, what's up, dude? How you doing?
It's been pretty good. Been playing Battle Bit, and then this whole week you've just been inviting me to a party, and I've had to listen to your whole week just the whole fucking time just complaining. It's like there's no game news. It's like just calm down, we'll get stuff. So it's kind of what we've been up to. Is just just been playing Battle Bit.
Yeah. I played a few matches with you, and I gotta say it's pretty good. You know,
most polished game this year for a shooter.
It's really polished. It is. It's crazy. I wonder if they'll eventually bring that out to consoles if they can. This is like a 3-man team that worked on this game for 7 years, and it's already sold like over 1 million copies, and I think it's just getting
1.8 million.
It's just getting more and more attention. I mean, it's going to outsell Final Fantasy 16 at this point, right? I mean, holy shit, it's crazy. But yeah, they're killing it, and that game has become popular. They're battlefielding better than Battlefield, right? Like in a lot of ways, which is nuts. But we'll see.
Turns out when you listen to the community and make classes and do stuff like that, it's actually
full destruction on the buildings and. It's nuts. The shooting mechanics are solid, regardless of the aesthetic of the game. A lot of people just care most about the gameplay, and it's got the gameplay. I think, even if I was having to stare at my keyboard trying to figure out how to play on PC.
It's also like I think what's successful about the game is like the death comms. Like everyone's sharing clips of like when people die, it's like, you asshole, you killed me or whatever, and then like drag them away and stuff. Like I think it creates very shareable moments, and it's like
Battlefield moments, pretty much. That was there was a lot of death comms going on when we were playing. That was pretty funny. Psycho, how are you doing, bro?
Oh man, it's been crazy, especially in our DMs with the S&M bear, dude. That had me dying. That made my whole week.
You never know what you're gonna wind up waking up to in our DM. Let me tell you.
Oh, I know, bro.
Like I said, it wasn't on my bingo card today at all. So
no, dude, Pong, you made my whole week with Arcade Paradise.
You've been playing Arcade Paradise?
Yeah. Fuck with it. I think I got a pull haul now. That's how far I'm along.
Nice.
So yeah,
it's a really good game.
Dude, yeah.
Ridiculous.
I'm glad Pong made your whole week, Psycho.
He did.
He made my whole week last night as well.
Yep.
I'm just a week maker. Let's go.
I love that Pong wasn't in our party chat last night.
I know.
Anyway, so
I knew this came from somewhere. I'm not dumb, and I know you guys well enough. But whatever. I'll just roll
if he checks the DMs, it's in there.
Is it?
Which ones?
Yeah, Caitlin just put it in
Okay.
there.
All right. Anyway, man, I'm glad that you're excited for that. Are you excited for Baldur's Gate? I mean, you said you didn't play Divinity, Psycho. Right?
Oh yeah. So I am. It looks really good.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah. And I just figured out. I don't think a lot of people know that it's going to be turn-based. So if you're looking for the
thanks, Caitlin,
action adventure game that is like God of War and Final Fantasy 16, Baldur's Gate 3 is probably not going to be your thing. But if you want a good experience from what I hear, Pong and Mav talking about it, it's going to be a really, really amazing game. The Pong, what did you say? 48 subclasses and 12, maybe 15.
Yeah, 12. I think it's 12 main classes with 4 subclasses, so 48. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Yeah.
So this game could really, really, really turn. It's that end game without having the end game. per se. You're halfway through your build, and then you're like, oh, what's this subclass? Holy shit! Now I'm shooting fucking rockets out of my ass. So it's
you're taking bears up it.
Oh
anyway.
yeah,
that's a legendary ability. Shoot rockets at your ass.
yeah.
I
Magic
wonder if
missiles.
that'll be one of the new aspects in Diablo 4.
Magic missiles.
Magic missiles.
I summon magic missiles.
Yeah, but this has been maybe the slowest news week
a while
in a
2
long
months? 2 months, 3 months?
I think even longer than that. I mean, like, I know there was a little dead period, leading up to the showcases because everybody's kind of holding their news, but then that kind of slowly evaporated, and we're still getting some news then, other games are starting to kind of get announced or whatnot. But I mean, this week has been, I think more like news wise for gaming, has been more about, either Baldur's Gate 3 with their thing today, Diablo 4, they had their season 1 stream, right? There's that BattleBit game's kind of taking off on Steam, and people are really digging that. There's a lot of good games that are in Game Pass that people are playing and trying out. I feel like we're in this, like, everybody's been playing Diablo 4, right? And a lot of people are taking a break right now for season 1 and just playing some other stuff here and there. And maybe, once season 1 comes out, the people dive back into that. But there's a lot of cool things to play. I gotta shout out again, like you just said, Psycho, that Arcade Paradise game, because I tried that this morning as well. And Pong was right. Last night, Pong, we had several people during our show in the chat saying, like, hey, I started playing this while Pong was talking about it, and I'm digging it. Wow, this is great. We had comments after the show last night on YouTube saying, hey, I checked out this game. Pong really knows how to sell a game or whatever. and they were like, wow, I'm really loving this game. And I got to say, I played it this morning before I tried out Bramble. And Bramble is a good game. I feel like it's not really my style of game, though. You know what I mean? I feel like it's cool. I don't like the whole walking to a point, going up and down, all that kind of shit, right? But Arcade Paradise is pretty sick, dude. I was really impressed with the graphics actually when it first loaded in.
Yes,
the frame rate was super smooth. The graphics were really good. I was like, what is this thing? And I go into the laundromat and I start doing laundry. I'm like, okay, this is something I never do at home, but I'm doing it here, and it was pretty cool. I'm at the point now where I'm about to send in a permit, to get the expansion.
Yep, to get the expansion going.
I got to say that Dad's an asshole.
Yeah, he's a big time asshole.
Yeah.
It's funny as fuck.
Fuck him,
Yeah.
But the game's really cool, man, and I'm gonna invest some more time into it. I recommend everybody checking it out. It's in Game Pass.
Wait until you get the jukebox with the music. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so damn good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm guessing you spend more and more time in the arcade as you progress, right? Start doing less.
It's more
laundry.
valuable to do the arcade than it is the laundry. Unless you have like a goal in the laundry side of things, to get some bonus extra money, which is different from your main money. It makes more sense to put more time in the arcade and just let the laundry go. You don't worry about getting S ratings as much anymore. Like you just let the laundry go, maybe only do like 4 to 5 loads a day and play more in the arcade for sure.
Right. Is there any detriment to leaving like a basket on the counter and just going home?
No, because you come back. The only thing is you can't get an S rating. You'll get a C rating automatically, no matter how fast you do it.
Because I'm like, this fucking person put a basket there right when we're closing, and I got to do it. Then like you're looking at the clock, and then your guy is like gonna pass out because
did you pass out yet?
Almost. He was starting to like fade in and out. Really,
I did. I dropped outside the door. Was heading towards the bus stop because it was like 3:30 in the morning.
You just wake up in the middle of the street.
No, you wake up the next morning, but then you get a message from your dad going, it's really great that you want to put in so much more time at the laundromat, but you got to go home and get your sleep.
Right.
So it says something like that. It's really good though.
So he only
Really
respects you when you're about to kill yourself from doing
Correct,
laundry.
correct.
I got a
Like 18
question.
hours.
Why are you doing other people's laundry?
That is a
'Cause-
great question because I haven't seen a laundromat operate in that way. You know,
You get extra bonus money. Hey, man, you do people's laundry for the people that got to drop and go, right? So, hey, why not?
Yeah.
$30 for an S class. I mean, that's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'd do that. If I got $30 for throwing trash into the trash bin after I cleaned it up, fuck yeah, let's go.
yeah.
Do that all day.
And man, those fuckers that come in at the middle of the night and just trash the whole place,
Yeah,
like
after you cleaned
it's
it up,
like
yeah.
pizza boxes and was like somebody throw a rave in there like at 4 a.m. What
That's
happened?
what I always think too. Yeah, that's what I always think too. But you get a bonus for keeping it clean. So
Yeah.
you get like 20%
Right on.
bonus.
Can you ever upgrade like the aesthetic of the laundromat and stuff?
No.
Because they need to replace that floor.
Yeah, the floor is bad. Like the vending machines are awful. Those chairs. Oh my god,
Yeah.
those chairs are freaking.
I remember
the
those
worst.
chairs from when I was
Yeah,
a
you
kid.
remember
The
those?
laundromat.
Yep,
Yeah. You know.
And the people that keep leaving the same gum every day too. Fuck.
Yeah.
Right? Big ass walls of gum.
Yeah. And you just picking it up with your bare hands too. I'm
Right,
like, yeah, you
right.
should like
Yeah.
at least get like a tissue or something.
Did you get a bugged cabinet yet?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Matt, have you gotten the bug cabinet yet?
No.
Where your cabinet stops working and you gotta go get the bugs out? Yeah. It's,
Wow.
It's
No.
Yeah.
literally bugs.
it's
Literally
cockroaches.
bugs.
It's roaches. It's funny as shit. It's funny as shit.
Alvin hit us with a $10 super chat. Thanks, Alvin. Appreciate you so much, dude. It says, Pong, make sure Satya adds your Arcade Paradise marketing to your next commission. Hashtag paid bots.
Oh, why do you think I've been promoting it so much? I get a bonus this week.
Yeah. Luis Jose also asked if I've paid the Fun Spec fam yet after
No.
Pong threatened to get every one of you guys to go on strike. Once you guys found out that I'm getting paid from Xbox.
Right.
So
Because you
It's
flexed
it's a dilemma.
Kia Soul and your fucking upgraded ramen noodles. Your
Yeah.
big bowl ramen.
Yeah. It's top
Bullshit.
ramen now.
Top ramen, fine. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I recommend.
I know I'm not
getting-
eating it.
I definitely recommend getting the shoes first with your pound sterling, so you can run faster instead of doing your little walk
What?
in the arcade paradise.
Where the fuck you on about,
Where are you coming
Psycho
from?
Nuts?
Where are you coming
Did
from?
you get eBay yet?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, you get the shoes. And
Like
you
how
get
we
to
just
run
completely
fast.
moved on.
But-
He's like, no, we're going back.
Yeah, we're going back.
We're
talking
going
about-
back.
I got the
God damn
assist.
it.
I saved up for the assistant because the assistant empties out all of your arcade machines for you constantly, so you never have to do that.
What?
It's freaking amazing.
Oh.
You can hire
Yes.
an
How
assistant?
now? How do you
Yes,
get
you can
more
hire assistant.
pound sterling? How do you get more pound? How do you get that? Because
The pounds, you have to do the goals. You have to do the daily goals.
Oh,
So when you go to your PDA, you got a list of 3 daily goals every day, and you get money for each one that you complete.
Really?
Oh,
Well,
Yep.
that's
okay.
how you do it. Okay.
Anyway.
I'm sitting there like the fuck. I'm focusing on laundry and emptying the cabinets and ignoring the goals. So
Yeah,
I need to
No, you got to do the
ignore-
goals. The
This
goal,
is-
try to get as many done as possible.
This has been the Arcade Paradise section of Xbox
Yes.
Live podcast. So I recommend it highly. It's a fun time. When I'm not going to be playing Diablo right now, that's probably what I'm going to jump into. So
It's freaking awesome. Did you, either one of you guys get the what's the name of it? Zombat. Did you get the Zombat
yes,
machine?
Zombad 2.
That's so much
Dude.
fun, bro. Oh
Bro.
my god.
that's
I'm so
something
addicted.
else, man. The games are actually pretty damn fun.
Some of them are actually really, really
they
fun
got
'cause
the
they're based on old
Pac-Man
games.
rip-off too.
Yes, Pac-Man and Grand Theft Auto together.
Yes,
Speed
yes.
Racer.
and
Yeah, it's
and then
freaking
you
amazing.
got air hockey arcade
Yes,
game.
I played air hockey forever. I was having so much
It
fun.
was really good. That's the first
Yeah.
one I played. I was like, holy
Yep.
shit, this is actually fun. And then there's another one like moving the blocks, on top of the stacking game.
Yep.
And,
That one's
Yeah.
tough, and I hate that one.
and then they got like a Bejeweled type thing as well,
Mhm.
right?
Yep. But did you buy the Zombat arcade yet, Matt?
No,
You got to get
not
Zombat.
yet. I don't think
You
I've
gotta get
unlocked it
Zombat too.
yet.
It's a twin stick shooter.
It's
so.
it's a twin stick shooter, and it's freaking amazing. It looks like Akari Warriors with zombies.
Really?
It's freaking awesome. Yes.
Yeah, it's fun.
The
It's
only
fun as
issue I
shit.
have is I have to worry about this damn laundry. I want to play the games more.
Right. Well, so then play the games. You can ignore the laundry. You're just not going to make a whole lot of money out there. That's all. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I won't get like.
but the
complaints.
more you play the arcade machines, the more popular they are. So the more money you make in the arcade as well. So
Really?
it's a trade-off. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Every time I open up one of the arcade machines, they got way more money in them than the laundry.
Right. Right. Unless you're on top of the laundry. I mean, C level laundry only gets you $5 per load. So that sucks. Right. So unless you're on top of it, you might as well just let it sit and only do a few loads each day. Like I do loads right in the morning and then that's it. Then like for the rest of the day, I'm on the arcade. Like that's what I'm doing for the most part.
Yeah. I guess you do a few loads, it can make your whole week.
Yeah.
All right. So we're moving on into the main topic at hand. We're in a waiting game right now, right? FTC versus Microsoft. Judge Corley is going to make a decision at some point here. We thought hopefully it could be today. That would have been amazing leading up to tonight's show. Didn't happen, right? At least not yet. So we're going to have some speculation, right? We're going to live in two worlds. I want to look forward.
The but for world?
Yes. We're going to look forward in a world where the judge says no preliminary injunction. Microsoft says we're going to close. And we're going to live in a world where Microsoft owns Activision Blizzard. So we're going to speculate on what that looks like in the future. What does Microsoft do next? What happens? Then I want to look at it. What happens if the opposite thing happens? And the slim chance that Judge Corley actually says preliminary injunction granted, and Microsoft says, oh shit, we have to abandon the deal because we're not going to be able to renegotiate with Activision Blizzard, all that kind of stuff. You know, the slim chance that stuff happens and they don't continue to fight and all that kind of stuff as well, right? So going into this, right, if the preliminary injunction is not granted and Microsoft is able to own Activision Blizzard, I got one question first. How long before the Call of Duty library is in Game Pass?
If it passes.
If it passes. When they close. I mean, because I think they'll have to close before the 18th in that case. Right.
So if it passes like in the next couple of weeks, I would say like a month before the new Call of Duty launches, they put all the Call of Duty games in there just to get the hype flowing for Call of Duty again. So or maybe whenever they announce the new Call of Duty.
There should be no reason I don't think that they can't put the older ones in there, right? I mean,
yeah.
So even like Vanguard and Modern Warfare 2 potentially. Modern Warfare 2 could potentially go into Game Pass, or is that too recent?
I think that might be too recent until November.
Until November. And what about all the other ABK games?
Like, I don't know if like Sony may. I don't know how their contract works. Like, I'm assuming like Modern Warfare is still under their Sony contract, but is Vanguard still covered under that? Like, or is that already passed up since that game's been out for over a year? Like, I don't know how that stuff kind of works. I don't know if that would even matter if it's still under Sony's contract though.
Yeah, and so there's Call of Duty. Are we all in agreement that they'll put the library in Game Pass, or do we think they'll not do it yet?
They'll put the library in.
You mute, Pong.
I know the entire library
of Call of Duty. Besides,
I think it'll go in waves.
So like
the 360 games and the Xbox One games,
or either that or they'll divvy them up in waves like they did with the ZeniMax stuff. It won't be all.
But the waves were pretty quick and furious with ZeniMax.
They were pretty quick, but I think they'll use this because there's so many titles. I think they'll do it more strategically, and they'll use it to continuously have something to throw in there. Yeah, some news. Correct. It's just.
I guess they could do all Treyarch games or all Infinity War games.
Yeah, they could do something like that, but I think it generally will hold in waves and make it more hype worthy. Maybe every couple months, every 2-3 months, we get another wave in there. I think that's how they're probably.
How many Call of Duty games are there that could go into Game Pass?
All of them are backwards compatible.
Yeah, so. I'm just trying to think. I don't know how many there. When did that start?
2000.
Call of Duty 2 was on the 360 as a launch title, right?
Mm-hmm.
So And they've
But they
been
re- they
every
remade-
year since then.
They remade the first one as an arcade game on the 360. So like that's
Right. So how many years has that been now? It's been 17 years.
18 years.
18
Call of
years?
Duty, yeah, Call of Duty 2 was 2005.
So what is that? That's like 17 Call of Duty games.
Mhm.
It's pretty ridiculous when you think about it, right? Now, like, then you look into the rest of the ABK library. Like, there's a lot of 360 games that could go in there.
It's a lot of licensed stuff we don't know if they're going to be able to put in there.
Because,
Obviously.
it became more of like, hey, we're pretty much only an Activision studio, right? I mean, Call of Duty studio, and except for Blizzard, right? But like in the 360 days, that wasn't the case.
But I mean, also like a lot of their 360 games that Activision did that wasn't Call of Duty was licensed stuff, and those aren't even backwards compatible now. So like, I don't think we're getting those. Like they did Transformers, they did Spider-Man, they did all kinds of licensed stuff back in the day, and those aren't backwards compatible. They're delisted now, so we're not. We're probably not getting
won't
those.
get those. No.
Yeah.
They won't. We won't see the licensed stuff. Call of Duty wise, I think we'll see. I want to say possibly up to like maybe Ghost, because I think that was that the last game that was. I think Ghost was the last. Wasn't a PlayStation exclusive. Correct. I think Black Ops 3 Ford was. So I think those games we won't see right away. In Game Pass, there might be some language in the contracts where they can possibly keep that off of Xbox Game Pass, just because they want, Sony would want that either in their fucking streaming service or whatever. So maybe we'll see like a prior. So we'll have Xbox, we'll have some older stuff, and then whatever marketing exclusive for PlayStation, they might get some if they do that. But we'll see.
It'll be like there's, I guess, a couple ways they could do it. They could do like a couple Call of Duty games and then put in like Spyro with that, or they could just do all Call of Duty games and then next month do like their random other games like Spyro, Tony Hawk, stuff like that. And then next month,
Prototype will be in there right away.
Yeah, I'm looking up a list of games here. It's pretty fucking crazy.
It's huge.
It's interesting if they're going to mix other games with the Call of Duty.
I think they would. They would have. That's what I was thinking. Is there would be lots, and it would be a mix. Call of Duty, and then, like you said, Jasper, some of the random stuff that's in there as well. Because I think that would be huge, like addition on top of their Game Pass announcements to also say, and adding another round of Activision Blizzard games this month, right? It'd be kind of a big deal.
You figure what, like 5 or 10 each wave or so?
Something like that. Yeah.
Be crazy. I'm looking back as far, the original Xbox, I could put some of those in there too. You know what I mean? Like, so if you look back to since the Xbox launched, right? They had like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 came out on Xbox. Then
some of them, the Tony Hawk games, are going to have license issues, like the older ones. Like I think the 360 ones are all delisted now, aren't they? So like,
well, they just put in the Tony Hawk remake they just did.
Yeah,
that would be in Game Pass. And maybe the last Guitar Hero, because I think that's still, or is it not Guitar Hero?
Yeah. Guitar Hero would be hard because of all the music, right?
Yeah.
But I think they still they still have some of the. I think it's playable still. I believe. But
is it purchasable? Can you still buy a Guitar Hero game right now? Like, is it in the storefront?
I don't think so.
No.
I think those licenses ran out.
Because they won't be able to put it in Game Pass if it's not purchasable, right? So if you own it, you bought rights to that forever. You know what I mean? As long as they keep
like some of the older stuff, like it's only going to be on PC, like how they did with Bethesda, where we got like Quake 2 and stuff, or Quake 4 or whatever, like that stuff. Like all the older PC stuff, I think we could see on PC Game Pass, but it's not going to be remade for Xbox.
Wonder if they'll fire up Ronald's team to see if boosting's available on any of those.
So that's
games.
the other. That was my next.
Yeah.
My next question, because originally they were like, "Hey, there's no more. We're not going to be doing this anymore. We're not going to be doing more back compat because we pretty much ran the gamut of what we can do." Now, I've said this early on when you acquire, because the last ones they did were the ZeniMax Bethesda ones, right? Like,
correct.
So when they acquired ABK, that opens up a new world of possibilities, and maybe it's worth going ahead and looking at that kind of stuff. Like,
but what's not back compat that's Activision right now?
I don't know the answer to that, and maybe not just back compat though, but FPS boost and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Resolution boost, HDR, the
It'd be cool if they could
FPS
do
boost
that.
and all that.
Yeah, because I'm sure Activision said no to a lot of their stuff, right? Don't even test it. We're not going to give you rights to do
Call of
it.
Duty
So,
Ghost.
Yeah.
I think is 30 frames. I think.
No, it's 60.
It's 60.
And it's also
It's 60.
that was the mid-gen game. It was a 360 and Xbox One game. So you get probably the Xbox One version of that.
Okay.
Shout out to Anonymous Boss with a $10 super chat. Says, I'm playing Halo Infinite now, waiting for that good old Starfield. Where are the magic cookies at, Mav? They're in the other room. All right, I've been snacking. I forgot to bring them in here. I'm sorry. Spartan661 with the $5. Appreciate it. Says, I'm glad that you all are paid before us. I guess you guys are happy with that. Just make sure you entertain all of us before you collect your checks. Yeah, right on. Trying.
Yeah, the chat was starting to talk of a strike last night too.
Yeah,
man.
I know, man. Like, you guys don't understand. This has been a negative, right? That's coming out has put pressure on us as content creators. Like, it's like we got to figure out how to deal with the animosity now between the FunSpec fam and the chat. Now everybody's wanting a piece of that pie.
Yeah, what up, Phantom Kraken? And you are absolutely correct. Bring back Marvel Ultimate Alliance. They should go and see if they could get the older
There's
game.
an Xbox One version of it, but it got delisted shortly.
It got
after.
delisted, right? So
who
now
published
it might
the
be
Switch?
worth it.
Who published it on Switch? Is it Nintendo published or is it? Because Ultimate Alliance 3 came out as exclusive on Switch, right?
Correct. Yep.
I would think if it was Activision, they would have put that everywhere.
Right.
Well, Activision, I think, just made I guess they just published it. Right? Who made it? Who made the
Published by Nintendo. It was done by Team Ninja. Team Ninja did
Okay,
it.
so who did the originals?
That's a good question.
The games
Vicarious
like
Visions, Raven Software.
Raven, Activision published and Raven made it. So, I mean, it'd be worth it. And then you got a newfound relationship with Nintendo. It's not like Ultimate Alliance 3 is selling Switches left and right? So maybe do an Xbox version this late in the game, have it ported over. And you got the trilogy. That'd be pretty damn cool. I'd go for it.
I'm just looking back at the list of these games, dude. The library is so fucking huge. Soldier of Fortune, y'all remember that?
Yes.
Soldier of Fortune 2 Double Helix came out on Xbox on July 17th of 2003. There's just so many. There's so many Tony Hawk games. There's True Crime, Streets of LA. I know you talked about that, Fuzz.
That was the first game I said they need to redo, right? So that definitely.
I just looked up a list of the Activision games. If you go to Wikipedia, you can sort by Activision publisher. We got pretty much all the Call of Duties. Other ones we got are Cabela's games, Assault Heroes 2, Ace of Galaxies, 3D Ultra Mini Golf, and Geometry Wars, Commanders Attack of the Geos, another golf game, Switch Ball. So just like random kind of mini sports games.
Tenchu Return from Darkness on Xbox in 2004 was published by Activision.
Yeah. Tension's with From now, right?
Yes.
Is it?
Because because that was what they originally made. Help me, guys. What should we call it? What's the soul? Sekiro originally started as a Tenchu game over From, and then they turned it into Sekiro. But they got the IP from Activision.
Interesting. It's just crazy looking at this list and seeing what's possible. There's so many licensed games back in Activision's history. I mean, like you're going through this list of Activision back in the 2000s, And it's like every game almost is a licensed game, like World Series of Poker, Cabela's,
like
right?
Star
X-Men,
Trek, Elite Voyager Squad.
so many
it's like-
Spider-Man games too. You know, you have Greg Hastings paintball, right? You had Kelly Slater's surfing. Like it's just nuts. That was kind of the meat and potatoes of Activision back in those times.
Yeah, you're right, guys in the chat. Yeah, Sekiro was still published by Activision in the West, so they must still hold the IP to Tenchu. So maybe there's a possibility there. Maybe.
Gun came out in 2005.
Yeah, Gun would be great too.
You remember a
Gun's
game
another
called
one
The
like that.
Movies?
Nope.
It was published.
Yes.
It was made by Lionhead, published by Activision on Windows. That came out on Xbox too, though, right? I think that came out on Xbox.
That was like a board game, wasn't it?
I think it was like you try and like run and make a movie or something. I can't remember
Are
exactly
you
how it played
serious?
out.
I don't remember that game at all.
It's a business simulation game created by Lionhead Studios and ported to Mac. Player runs a Hollywood film studio creating films that can be exported to the game. The movies were released in 2005. Yeah, you just run your own movie studio. So it's like
Okay.
I guess it's just like a
Movie
business
studio
management,
simulator. I
kinda
just
like your
didn't know
arcade game.
Lionhead made that. That's crazy because that was like when they were, maybe they weren't owned by Microsoft at that time. I don't know.
Jesse B says you do stages, make films. You could actually make a full length feature. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah. So anyway, like that's the 2000s,
Right.
You go into 2010s, it gets even crazier. You had like games like Blur, like you talked about that the other day, Fuzzy as well.
God. Yeah.
That's another.
Absolutely.
I
game
only
they could do
played the
something with.
free online demo of that with friends. I never bought the game. I played like 100
What?
hours of just the demo.
Really?
Yeah.
Freaking
Of
awesome,
Blur?
Jasper. Let's forget
Yeah.
Blur was so good. I can see why you did, but I can't believe you've never bought the full game. Like that's crazy, man. The full game was so good. Oh my god, it was so much fun.
So okay, so we're in this world, right? ABK gets acquired. Let's say first step, start putting stuff into Game Pass, some past library stuff, mixed bag, right? Newer stuff, past library stuff. Maybe they fire back up the FPS boost back compat team for whatever reason and stuff like that, right?
They're probably ready.
You think so? They've already been like getting ready behind the scenes, working on stuff.
They probably have a lot of games just ready to just hit a switch and go, but they can't just go live with it. Because I mean they said there are so many games that they been trying out, got it running, went to the developers, asked, hey, do you mind if we do an FPS boost on this? And when the ones that said no, it's either because they want to come out with a what's that definitive edition or something along the lines like that, with a 60 FPS mode. So we didn't get that. So I think a lot of games are just ready to locked and loaded, and once it goes live, we will get them.
Yeah. There's the whole Blizzard side I'm not even paying attention to right now, right?
Yeah.
PC Game Pass.
They just got so
Benefit
much
like
fucking
crazy.
license shit though. Like, I think that's gonna be the hard thing.
The Blizzard side, there's like hardly anything licensed,
Yeah.
or maybe nothing. It's all Diablo or Hearthstone's, StarCraft, stuff like that, right?
But I mean, also like a lot of the Blizzard stuff isn't even on Xbox. Like,
Overwatch. Do you think that the push to get some of those PC experiences on console at all,
I would
or do you think
assume
they
like
don't care about it?
StarCraft and stuff would go to Game Pass eventually, but I think that's one of the games that's going to take longer than just like overnight when they buy the thing. Like, it's probably gonna be like a couple of years, like I
Be a
don't know,
big
for a year or
project.
so.
It would be a
Yeah.
big project.
Yeah, like war. What is that? Original Warcraft
Yep.
3 probably. Because I don't think that 1 and 2 would come to console. But
How quickly is this stuff going to happen? Right? Is this going to happen like a year later? Is this going to happen within months or weeks after closing?
Call of Duty stuff can be pretty quick. Like the Warcraft stuff, I think that's going to take a lot longer because I think you have to do a lot more paperwork involved, and you're still kind of transitioning the team into the Xbox team. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff that you have to get worked out before you can just put it in the Game Pass. So like I think Call of Duty is the easier thing where it's just a flip of a switch, whereas some of the older stuff is you got to sink some time into.
They figure within 2 years, give or take, whatever the dev time would be.
Yeah.
Even on the Activision side, though, as well, like PC Game Pass could be a huge benefit for this, right?
Yep.
Like, Blizzard have certainly massive benefit for PC side, but even the Activision side, I think, would be pretty crazy. Yeah, there's so many things, man, that to think about the possibilities of, and it's pretty likely, if this deal gets closed, I mean, that's what we're probably looking at, I mean,
we just got that some of the older Wolfenstein games in Game Pass on PC like just last year. So what was that, like 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And what is the reasoning you think that it took so long?
Probably because it wasn't their primary focus, just because it's an old game that it's like not a hot priority.
Is there
thing
work to? Because I know that some people say PC Game Pass games run slightly differently than like they do on Steam and stuff like that. Like, is there infrastructure stuff with development they actually have to do work on to get those games into PC Game Pass?
Well, a lot of like the super old games, like they just don't work on modern hardware. So like they may have to go in and make it work on modern hardware. So,
right. Interesting. Okay. Shout out to let's see here. Spartan 661 again with another $5. Appreciate it. Said, what about one of the first RPGs on the original Xbox, Sudeki, in a new revised version? Some might have forgotten about it. It was different, but it's okay. Sudeki. I don't remember that game.
I don't remember that.
You're right that a lot of us have forgotten about it because I don't recall it. Sudeki.
Deki. 2000. I remember the cover. All right.
But I have to Google that game, Sudeki.
Yeah, 2004.
Sudeki.
I remember the cover, but I don't think
No,
I ever
not
played
Jason Sudeikis. I didn't mean to.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay, yeah, the one with the lady character on it. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played it. Though.
I don't.
It looks
I
interesting though. Huh. It's got kind of cool graphics too. It's almost got like a Fable cartoon look to it almost.
There was a 360 RPG that had a similar vibe to it. I remember as well. I don't remember what it was called either though. Sudeki. All right. Yeah, who knows, man? I think that's a little bit probably. I mean, it could come to Game Pass if they own the license to it, but like I don't know if they'll ever do anything else with that. I don't know. Let's see what else we got. Other possibilities. Right.
Well, we know we're getting Heretic, so that's for sure. So
Hexen.
Hexen, I mean,
Hexen.
Yeah,
right.
I was like Heretic. It's a
Heretic's another
new game announced officially here.
No, Heretic's Raven soft game.
Yeah.
Old game.
Okay.
Heretic's another game. Yeah, but Hexen is what I meant because obviously Phil's been stomping for that. So I just had both of them in my head at the same time.
That'll happen. So that's the other thing. Transition of what these studios are going to be doing, right? We talked a little bit of it the other day about Infinity Ward's new studios, and they're supposedly working on another RPG, like an MMO RPG or something like that. Are we going to see Microsoft kind of force the hand a little bit of Activision to have some of these developers? Because remember, Phil, one of the first things he said is one of the things he's excited about most is to go visit all these teams and ask them what they want to work on, right? And I doubt all of them are going to say, Call of Duty. We've been happy as a support studio making COD. We'll just keep up with it. Especially when you look at these lists of games from the past and you see these names like Raven Software on all these individual games, right? And now they're just making COD stuff, High Moon Studios, Toys for Bob, all these different studios. Like, are we going to see an influx of new games start to come out from Activision in the years following?
I was just looking, like, GOG has a lot of the old Activision games already on their store, so maybe it's not as hard as it's going to be.
So just switch those over and put them in PC Game Pass? Interesting. Chris
Pull 'em.
Jones with the $5 said,
F them, like Booty says.
F
Pull
them. Pull them from good old games. How about just buy good old games?
By
By
CDPR,
CDPR? Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. 100,000%.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm down. Let's go.
Yeah, that was on their list.
Dominate the Western RPG market completely. Just wrap that sucker up with a bow. Let's go.
It's on their list, right? It's on the short list. So
I get Cyberpunk nonstop. Let's go.
yeah. Keanu Reeves was in Phantom Liberty was at the Xbox showcase, right?
Of course, because they had marketing rights. But
Yep.
let's just expand those marketing rights to a purchase.
Chris Jones with the $5. Appreciate you, Chris. Says, I never bought Fusion Frenzy till it came to Bat Compat. Just played the demo on NFL Fever 2002. Fever. I actually read that how you wrote it. Fever. Fever 2002 when I wanted to play it. Yeah, right on. I remember all those. Remember the OXM demo disc back in the day?
Yeah.
Those were amazing.
This is way off topic, real quick, but have you guys seen the new arcade football game coming that's licensed?
Is this a 2K one?
Advertised? No.
No, it's not 2K.
Is it the like the kind of like MIB or like the cartoony kind of?
Yes.
Or is it, yeah.
Yes, and it's fully licensed by the NFL, but
Yeah.
it's like, what's the name of it? I'll look it up real quick.
I haven't seen this. I know that
I've been
2K
seeing
was supposed to
promoted.
be working on one.
Yes, they are too, but this one is fully licensed. They God damn it, what's the name of it?
Yeah, that was the thing because like EA lost the full licensing. They have licensing for sim football, right? Exclusivity for that, but other companies are now allowed to make arcade football games.
Here, new NFL video game announced launching a few weeks after Madden. This one is called Wild Card football game, I think is what it is. Yep, Wild Card football.
Wild Card football.
Yeah, it's fully licensed. Everything else, they've got Colin Kaepernick advertising it, promoting it. Yeah, it's fully licensed. They've got it looks like old school kind of, blitz style gameplay. NFL, like take your pick, street.
Oh my god, Street was so good.
Oh, Street. Well, Blitz and Street both were freaking excellent. But yeah, Street was awesome. They should bring back the Street series. Street series was freaking killer. But yeah, it looks actually really kind of cool. Because we just haven't seen anything licensed like this. Like when you first see it, you're like, oh, another generic football game. But then you realize there's actual players in it.
Interesting. Yeah, man. If
October 10th, 7-on-7 arcade style football.
Yep.
Like licensed current players, full NFL.
Yeah.
Like
there's current players in there too. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm looking. I'll give it a go. It said it's launching a few weeks after Madden. Yep. I mean, how many years has it been since a game like this came out?
Correct.
Since Midway, right? I mean, EA did it. EA, had it and stuff with NFL Street.
2K had the what was it, the All-Star, All-Pro
Football 2K8, but that was a sim football game made
with older players,
with legends, right?
Yep, Barry Sanders, Joe Montana, and Elway on the front, right? I can't remember for sure.
I love that game, dude, because
that game was cool.
I could have the triplets from the Cowboys on
it. It played like the NFL. It played like NFL 2K 5.
My favorite thing about that game is they had a lot of the great players, but they weren't like the necessarily Hall of Famers either. You know what I mean? So that you had guys like, I'm pretty sure Jay Novacek and Moose Johnston were in it.
I'm
and
sure.
They were like silver tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had like bronze legends, silver legends, and gold. God, man, I miss that shit. They should have kept doing that. I think they would have had something. Do you? Yeah, that game's amazing. So we think that some of that stuff will come back. Studios kick off franchises. Fuzzy wants True Crime to come back.
Yeah,
but do you think they would
GTA
compete with Do you think they want to compete with GTA?
Probably not, but it would be nice to have a sandbox type game where you're working as a detective or something along those lines. I think it's worth them looking into it. I mean, otherwise you're going to wait 10 years in between GTAs or games similar to that. I don't know if there's going to be another new Mafia. I know they did their trilogy and everything, but it'd be nice if there was a new Mafia game out as well. But True Crimes would be a nice fit in between, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Did they do Godfather back in the day?
Who? Activision?
Activision. Did they put that game out?
Godfather. Oh, that was a good game, dude.
I don't know
I
if it
don't
was
remember.
Because that was kind of
Activision.
like a GTA style game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good game. I like the first one. The second one, it was all right. It wasn't as good as the first one.
Who
But
published?
there was a lot of boobies.
Who published Sleeping Dogs?
I think
'Cause-
Activision published it, but it was Square that did it or something, or vice versa.
Because
I
it
can't
originally
remember.
started as a true crime
Oh, no, it was
game,
an
and then it
EA
changed
game.
to Sleeping Dogs, right?
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy to think. We're gonna see how it all plays out, but there's another side to this. Okay, I feel like one of the biggest differences, besides obviously Microsoft owning ABK, at that point will be what they do with their business, right? Like other acquisitions, right? Because there's two possibilities. We're gonna look at the other, right? But what other moves do they make if they own ABK? Because what they're capable of without ABK is because they are with ABK they spent $70 billion, right? What other moves do they make after that? Because the list that we saw disclosed and everything in that court case was pre ABK acquisition.
It's also
Yeah.
like everyone in the gaming industry is on that list. So like,
There's like 100,
Yeah.
right? 100 publishers and developers mixed in there.
I think it was also. I think they did that with everyone, kind of throw people off if that list kind of leaked out, and it was like, oh, they're just trying to get everybody,
Yeah.
but they don't know exactly who. I'm just thinking, top of my head, like a Sega, possibly Square, because mobile.
I think the
The-
Square or the Sega deal's done because they've kind of come out and said we're not interested.
Yeah,
They said
They-
yet.
and they
You
did
think-
say
that's
that.
interesting though. Like, do we think that they? I mean, that to me that wasn't. I think you took that the opposite as like how a lot of us took it, Jasper.
Yeah,
You know,
you took it as like, oh nope, that's final. No, I
Yeah,
think
because
they.
Sega kind of trimmed the fat to some extent with the splitting of the
Yes.
arcade division, and it's funny how they picked up a mobile gaming company.
Rovia.
It's almost like somebody was like, you know what, we'll do the strategic partnership, hold off on everything, but if you can pick up a mobile developer, go ahead and do that, and we'll make sure we cover it when we acquire you, kind of thing. It just, there seems like a lot of things that would fit like this perfect puzzle between the two companies beyond just a strategic partnership.
right? And strategic partnerships working great. They obviously Sega loves it right now. They're coming out and say they feel valued more by Xbox and Microsoft than other platform holders, right? That's a strong statement to make. I mean, like to say that they value more than PlayStation and Nintendo does, pretty much is what they're saying, right? And publishers stating that publicly, I guess Square could say that about Sony. I mean, just in their actions, right? But I come out with that statement based on these the speculation about it, just because of those documents that were leaked, right? Coming out and saying not right now is not a very strong statement. With saying about not the possibility of being acquired. For me, it's like saying, "Hey, we're not right now." Like that's how it came across to me.
See, I just
And-
feel like the moves they're making, like, I think that they were probably looked at and then they got like turned down from like a purchase. So they're trying to make moves now to where they don't need to be acquired. That they can just be themselves, like a Take-Two or someone. Like, I think they're just trying to secure their own position and not worried about being bought anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
Or getting ready to get bought.
Or getting shout out to Alvin, bro. Super generous, man.
Alvin
Gifted 5 Fun Speculation memberships twice. So that's a total of 10 gifteds, dude. Super generous. Appreciate you, bro. Anonymous Boss with another $5 says, shout out to Jasper, Mav, Pong, Fuzzy, and Psycho. You guys know anything about Midnight Club coming back? There was a rumor. There was rumors mainly because one reason originally that 2K was trying to buy Codemasters.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
That didn't happen. And then also in one of the financial reports that came out, or not financial reports, but one of the shareholder meetings that came out, they were talking about the future games and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, that they said there was a racing game, right?
And
so
the composer, I think, or like the composer of Midnight LA was like asked to do a new track or something like that, or he's like licensed his music again for Midnight Club. So
right.
something like that.
The catch is here, the interesting thing is since that happened, we've gotten that Lego 2K Racer, the 2K Lego game, right? That just came out recently. So for me, I don't know if the rumors behind the scenes were misinterpreted and it was actually they were doing this 2K Lego game, right? Or if that's just another thing they were doing and they still have plans to bring Midnight Club back. I think the problem is that racing is a huge part in GTA now, and they always kind of share. It was a Rockstar game, like Midnight Club's Rockstar, and like you could kind of tell, like it was like a lot of the same technology behind, you know, stuff.
Midnight
in the
Club
Midnight
was kind of like a prototype to what GTA.
It was like
it
was like a better racing version of what was in GTA. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, if we focused everything into racing with this engine, all this technology, what could we do? And that's what Midnight Club kind of was. And they've really spent a lot of time in GTA going hardcore with the racing stuff in there. And they have a whole separate community that just is into that stuff. But there's no licensed cars in that, you know, and it's in the GTA world and it's only capable of so much because they got all these other things. I think there's a big enough want for Midnight Club to come back, but they also got a lot of competition now that they didn't have back then. Forza wasn't a thing then. Horizon wasn't, right? Forza Horizon wasn't. Horizon is completely taken over that arcade racer, the predominant one, right? Before it was Midnight Club and Need for Speed, right? You had Need for Speed Underground. You had like Midnight Club Dub Edition. You know what I mean? Like, which one you playing? I played both. They're fucking both amazing, you know? But it's interesting. Now Need for Speed's kind of making a comeback with Unbound was pretty good. And then you got them making that Lego 2K open world game. You have the Crew Motorfest is coming out this year. Test Drive's doing another showcase soon. Promoting that game
next week.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot more in that genre, and maybe 2K says that we can kill it if we do it. Rockstar's making GTA 6 as well right now. For me, I think it's a stronger possibility potentially that they focus more attention to the racing elements in GTA 6 and stuff like that with the online component there. But I don't know, man. Like, I want it desperately because it was amazing.
Although, like, I don't think Rockstar gives a shit about competing with themselves in GTA specifically. Like, I don't think they would care. Like, I think if they wanted to double dip, they would do that because they know that each game's going to have its own audience and GTA is going to be fine on its own.
Right.
I think they also want to test out the new physics and stuff like that. Like, it would be a perfect model for them to kind of work all the kinks and stuff as far as the suspension and stuff, because a lot of people didn't like the transition from GTA 4 to GTA 5. Some did, some didn't, but I think whatever they're working on now for GTA 6, it'd be an easy, you know, game to kind of spin up. You know, the licensing might be the trickier part considering, but they would be willing to spend the money to make the money from that licensing deal because they see how much it's you know, helping, you know, Forza Horizon and other games in that space. You know, they would always, you know, like to take a piece of that pie.
Didn't they FPS boost or like update Los Angeles, Midnight Club Los Angeles?
They made it back compat.
I know me and Pong played that for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was running at 60 frames, Pong?
Yes. I believe we were.
I thought
'cause we were
that's
like, oh my god, it's running at 60. Yeah, I think it was. On the
Yeah.
Series X. Yeah,
and we
I'm
were
pretty
like, oh
sure.
my God, it's crazy. It was a Best Buy over there.
Yeah, Best Buy. The Best Buy signs were crazy. Bro. That was so funny.
Yeah, we were just driving around. And it held up. It was fun. I mean, there was
Yeah.
nobody online or anything.
No,
you
it was
know.
just me and Mav and this big old map.
It was
funny as
crazy.
shit.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun. DS Omen with the $2 says, get ABK to bring back Empire Earth, please. Empire Earth.
Empire Earth. Good game.
What's
the
Empire
one I'm thinking
Earth?
It's the one I'm thinking of. Hold on. Let me look it up real quick. Empire Earth.
A funny
Isn't that,
story about a Midnight Club Dub
Yeah.
Edition.
RTS game from back
Yeah,
in
that's
the
what I
day.
was thinking.
RTS?
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm down. Bring it back.
Bring it back. Bring them all back.
I was in a car club in Midnight Club, Dub Edition. We had a car club, and we customized our cars and showed them off and all this stuff. We even had made a website. It was an AOL homepage website. Some stupid thing. We made a website. We took pictures of our cars, put it on there. Stupid, waste of time, whatever. And we got a cease and desist order from a real car club that had the same name. It was ridiculous. Anyway, it was fun times, man. Dub Edition was great. But yeah, so I think we've kind of dove into this like a little bit, like the world of ABK. Do we think Sega is more likely with ABK or less? I mean, I think
It would be more likely
I think
without
either-
ABK.
right. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's still
with
go
or
get 'em.
without, I think it's the same. I
The
think
same?
Sega is the absolute next target. I think, as far as publisher, now there are smaller studios in between that, but I think Sega, as far as publisher, is the next target.
Is that because the relationship is so strong, they're more approachable, or is it because they've already had these discussions probably with them?
I'm thinking or guessing that they've probably already had these discussions, and it's just like the ultimate fit overall for that region to be able to get more, floor space in stores, a little bit more of a piece of the pie as far as the gaming community there. I think all avenues point to that being, something that will help them in more ways than one. So I think they've already had that talk, and honestly, I believe it was kind of like, oh wait, hold this for a minute. We got something that came up. We still want to do this. Let's do this partnership. We'll invest and help with future projects to show that we're serious about this, and then we'll revisit it once this other thing wraps up. But I'm starting to think Microsoft didn't think it was going to be this long of a process or this arduous of a process for ABK. But I think Sega they made Sega feel welcome enough to kind of hang in there.
Like, I know, are you just saying publisher next? Because do you think that it still might pick up a few smaller studios first and then go for the publisher next?
I think they'll pick up a few more smaller studios first.
Yeah,
because I think they want to give some breathing room for these regulators. Like I think if Asobo wants to be acquired, I think that's on the table. I'm hoping there is a conversation with Embracer for Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal.
Yeah.
And then what is it? IO Interactive would be another one. I mean, there's a good handful of smaller ones that I hope that they snatch up before somebody else does. I kind of want them to rescue Ubisoft, but I want the terms to require Eves to go. Like that family just get out of Dodge. If they have to be attached in any way, don't bother Microsoft, please.
I think it's just better to buy individual studios from Ubisoft and let Ubisoft go under it.
Then buy Massive and then maybe Massive and whatever one does Assassin's Creed.
What 50 of them do Assassin's Creed? Pretty much. That's Ubisoft would be interesting. It's a can of worms with anybody that acquires them, but it's also a lot of potential. If you run the ship right. Shout out to Hitman again with more gifted memberships. He was going crazy in the chat the other day with gifted as well. Appreciate that, guys. You guys rock. Jonas the Dad with $2 says, I like Sega over Square. Sega helps with TV movies. Interesting.
Transmedia. Yep.
They also
how does
publish a
Sega
lot
help
of
with
Western
the
style games.
TV and movies? Is that because of like Sonic, Sonic and stuff like that? I guess is popular with the movies.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. They got characters that are easily
right.
developed into transmedia.
They're making a show too, a Sonic show, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it came out, didn't it?
I don't know.
It's like an animated
No.
show.
I don't think it came out yet.
I thought it came out. Was it like Sonic Superstars or some shit like that? Right?
Oh, I think it did. I think you're right. Didn't it come out on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, that's right. I think you're right. Wow, Hitman with more memberships, 5 more gifteds. You guys rock
Hitman.
crazy. Between Alvin and Hitman, it's 20 memberships gifted. This
And
episode,
then you had
guys are nuts.
another 10 last night.
Sonic Prime.
Steele said the show is out. Sonic show, yeah, the show's out. Okay. So let's move on, right? We've lived in a world with ABK. We've kind of thought about the possibilities. Now, let's say Judge Corley, whenever, the next couple days or something, says preliminary injunction is granted. So from there's 2 possibilities. Microsoft could say, well, let's move on. Activision Blizzard is not going to renegotiate.
Hitman is the Oprah Winfrey of
Wow,
speculation tonight.
10
Everybody gets
10 more
everybody-
memberships,
You
bro.
get a
Everybody,
membership. You get a membership.
everybody in the chat's
Gonna
gonna end
have
up
to make
having a
new
membership
emojis.
at the end of the show.
What's up,
You
Agent
guys are
47?
amazing.
What are you guys doing?
I appreciate
Hey,
you, dude.
love
You guys rock.
He's making his list.
Yeah, he is. He's making his list. Whoever gets a membership is on the list now. Maybe you don't want that. Return the membership.
$5 from Chris Jones as well. So
Unit.
they got to get Square and run that Japanese mobile market. Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate
It's a big
that.
one.
Yeah. 3-bit says membership train. Look under your seat.
Whoa.
You get a membership.
Remember when 3-bit didn't know what a train was?
That was funny. Back to the old
Made
fun
us whole
speculation
week.
history. Yeah, I think in 3-bit was the one making holes week. Holes week.
So 3-bit, that's right, because 3-bit was on a show and you and I were in the chat. weren't
Yeah,
we?
he was doing his podcast. That was his last episode of his
Was it?
podcast. Yeah,
Yeah, we were
like
putting the
canceled
trade
the
emojis
show
in there.
after that. But short, so you guys have context. We're talking about, our buddy 3-bit, right? He Fun Spec Fam had his podcast and he was doing it, and I was in the chat, and he was talking about Cyberpunk. And they were talking about the
Gonna ride
trains
the
and
train.
Cyberpunk. And I was just trying to get him to say something, on his show. And I was messing with him in the chat, and I was like, "You like running trains in 3-bit?" And then he was like, "Yeah, I like running trains." And he didn't know what that meant. So
We were dying.
we were just dying, and he kept saying it over and over again. So the next episode of Xbox Ultimate, I had 3-bit's intro where he came in on a train.
that was
That was fucking great. And
Hitman!
with 10
Again!
more.
Jeez.
Wow. Guys are nuts. Thank you.
God,
Appreciate it.
absolutely
guys.
incredible out here. The support. Ugh.
Yeah, again,
Beautiful.
you guys.
Each
If
and every
you're
one of you.
making-
Enjoy those memberships.
Yeah. If anyone's trying to get a membership, if you click on the gifted thing above the chat, you can select to opt into membership, so you could get in the next lot, maybe.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
You're making Mav's whole week.
Hitman is now a week maker. That's good.
Man, that's great. So let's live in this world, right? With let's say the deal gets blocked. Pong said that he thinks Microsoft still continues to fight this thing, right?
Yep.
ABK, they said that they're gonna move on, but that's what they're saying. Who knows? You know what I mean? Of course, they're gonna say that on the stand to put pressure on the judge and making the decision to feel like if they don't approve it, or if she grants it, that the deal's failed, right? So who knows what happens, but let's just for conversation's sake, let's assume they do move on, okay? And that if the judge's decision would cause them to not be able to acquire Activision Blizzard, right? In that world, does Microsoft either tuck their tail and just kind of play it safer from here on out, kind of shift focus on how they're doing their business, or do they come out like a caged animal and start trying to acquire everything? Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I would personally, I think you would see a very aggressive Microsoft at that point, because I think Satya at that point would be also fed up with this. I think, you know, the CFO, Amy Hood, would be like fed up with this. I think there might be a little bit more of like, you know, they're not going to get the whole 70 billion to say spend it on whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
But a portion of that will probably still be available to use on acquisitions.
I think they would have to play their acquisitions smarter, because the investors are probably tired of this fucking 2-year legal battle just trying to buy this shit. So like, they're probably gonna be like, hey, let's make a smarter decision. Like, I would say like go after EA, but still I think that's probably still too big. Like, I don't know who you go after. Like, you have to go after like someone probably $10 billion and under.
Yeah.
Just to get past the FTC.
Well, the judge, they made a point that said like, you know, or the FTC said if it wasn't this large of acquisition, we wouldn't be here. Right? Holy shit.
Nobody's getting out of here tonight without a membership, everybody. That's what it looks like right
20,
now.
Yeah, it's every name's going to be green in the chat by the end of this. I think almost pretty much everybody. 20 gifteds from Hitman, dude. That's insanely generous.
Never expected, but always appreciated. 100%. Thank you.
Hitman, thank you guys for helping this channel grow. And yeah, I mean, we'd be doing this with nothing. You know what I mean? But
this is our Xbox party chat one.
This is our Xbox party chat. You guys make a lot of fun with this stuff. Luis Jose, member for 3 months, says, nah, Mav, the pundit said that Xbox is gone. That was the other thing, right? Remember the pundits? You know, pundits came out and says, like, if ABK fails, that Microsoft is going to sell Xbox.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There's no world that that's going to happen.
You don't go from making 70 billion.
Shut it down. It's like,
yeah, you don't go from making $70 billion investment to all of a sudden we're closing up shop. Like, okay.
I mean, that's a big decision to allow us the biggest.
We give up.
The biggest acquisition in Microsoft history, right? To go from saying we're going all in to saying we're going none in.
Right.
You know, like that's a big shift.
Yeah,
you know?
That's a big what?
That's a big swing. That's a big swing.
Oh.
Swing. No, I think Jasper's more correct. We talked about this on the shop last week. Was it Fuzzy? I think when we did this too. So I'll give you my basics here. Number one, I think that if it gets blocked and they have to back out of the deal, since that's the assumption we're going underneath here, even though I believe that they'll fight it all the way, I think that means that Satya and Phil stick around longer. Because it'll be unfinished business for both of them. And so I think that we get them for a longer period of time, because I think both of them want to see this through. What they started here with Xbox and where they want to get to, it will just take a longer period of time without ABK. So I think that means both of them stick around, which is a positive. I think Jasper is correct as far as tactical acquisitions. They will go tactical on this. I said right away, and I agree, I want Sega, right? I think they go to the East right away, because of the political climate right now is there's pressure on Japan to, be fair, to make sure that there's some fairness going on with specifically Xbox, right? We just saw that during the trade talks, back at the beginning of the year, where our government put pressure on them. So now's the time to strike there. So I think you go get Sega as your publisher, and I think you also go get Square as your secondary. And I think Square is the first one to fall. I think they go get Square right away. And then is that an FU to Sony? Absolutely. If they get this deal blocked here and make Microsoft back out, I think then you do see a little bit of, okay, we're going to come into your backyard now, and we're going to take one of your prize cows that you won't buy, that you just keep milking. And we're going to make sure that Final Fantasy comes on Xbox from here on out. Then they go get Square right away. And I think Sega's next. After that, I think it's smaller acquisitions. I think they line up all those smaller studios they've been waiting on. IO Interactive, Certain Affinity, all those. I think that they start piecing those together as well. And then I think that they look at what the FTC said, in part what you just said, Mav, that if this was a smaller deal, we wouldn't be here today. Fine. They'll make deals all underneath they won't go big. But then I think they also look at the FTC saying, no, what Sony does by buying, timed exclusivity is not a problem. And I think that despite the fact that Phil hates it, and that Satya now has said he hates exclusivity as well, I think that they go, okay, you guys laid the rules. This is how we got to play. Fine. We'll go make these strategic acquisitions, but then we're going to start gobbling up third-party exclusives on top of this. And we're going to make sure that we're full until we have the amount of studios that we need to make sure that we've got the content. We're going to start playing your game. Even if we have to overpay a little bit, we're going to go buy up exclusives. And big ones expect to be gone. Any big ones that could be bought up, I don't see Sony cornering the market on those big third-party deals anymore. I think that Xbox walks in and starts handing out bigger checks. So I think that's where I'm at with it. If it were to go that way, that's my idea.
Okay. So who is it?
Who is what?
Who do they go first?
Oh my goodness,
Square.
he didn't listen to that whole.
He didn't listen to a damn thing.
No. So
I know, because gifted memberships are flying everywhere.
We just got 20 more gifted from Hitman.
Nobody's leaving without one. I'm telling you.
I'm telling Kate that I think she needs to make an Agent 47 emoji in honor of Hitman.
Hitman. That's awesome.
So I think maybe that's gonna happen. If you want that Hitman, I think we can put a special emoji in there just in your honor. We're giving away, I think, like 60 gifteds almost this
plus.
Hey, he gave away
it's 70 or 80.
He gave away 40 or 50 yesterday.
Yeah, so
or Monday.
Yeah, just on this show, like 60 something,
70,
like
60, 70,
I don't
something like that.
know, man.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
We appreciate it. You guys have no idea how much that means and helps helps us. So you guys rock. And Alvin, not to be outdone himself, always very generous on this channel. With also did some gifteds today as well with $5. Said Greenie in the streets, booty in the sheets. Xbox is going to be aggressive in all aspects, no matter what happens. So Sarah Bond's going to be out there making deals. You say Greenie and booty. I got to tell you, I think Sarah Bond's the ringer here.
Sarah Bond's cutting the deals in the East, right? And that's where I said that they would go first, Mav. That's what I was saying when you weren't listening. Was Square and Sega.
Right.
I think they go wrap up these. They walk right into the backyard and do it, right? So I think that's and it's a little knife to Sony for blocking this deal, but it's also where they need to be and where they want to be. And Square does have the large mobile presence, and then Sega again is a smaller version of ABK. It's the trifecta, right? You get the console, you get the mobile, and you get the PC. It's just a smaller version of ABK is all it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that
right,
with the fact that it's such a huge name in Japan over in the East in general gives them that foothold instantaneously. But Square and Sega together, yeah, man. I mean, they're not going to win over there. They're not going to outsell Sony or Nintendo over there. But what they do is they solidify it and they give themselves, the names that they need over there to be respected, and to let everybody know that they mean business, and to let Sony know, fine. You want to do this? Fine. Let's go. This is what you wished. Be careful what you wish for, because we're coming now, right? And we're going to come right down your throat in your backyard. So pause.
Coming down. Whoa.
Pretty much.
That made Mav's whole week.
Oh my God. Jeez. Still on this now. That's great. Pong, you would have been dead in our party last night.
I probably would have been.
Yeah. Jonas the dad gifted one membership as well, getting in on that party. You guys are crazy.
Thank you, Jonas.
Appreciate it. So about you, Psycho, usually with Pong, they just go strong right away and say Sega and Square, and then get more after that.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of alluded to that earlier, that they go after Sega, Square. I think they will go after like try to go after Asobo, Certain Affinity, those studios that have been kind of like partnerships and helping them. They let them still do their thing, so if they need to assist other studios, I think they'll help in that aspect. But it comes down to um, getting the core development teams that they've been working with in the past, and then going after them right now. I think that's what we're going to see, especially getting that Crystal Dynamic. I mean, we've been kind of saying like that was kind of like, hey, you know what? We'll make a little bit of money on the side. We'll grab these guys for you on the cheap, and then we'll sell it to you for still on the cheap, but we still got to make a little bit of profit because Embracer Group's hurting a little bit with some money. So selling off Crystal D and oh god, Adios
Montreal.
Adios Montreal. I think that will help them out with whatever projects they want to push through, so that they can get back on their feet again. And then really going after other little small stuff. I think they'll hold off with Sega after they grab up these little guys here and there. But I think then we'll hear possibly maybe towards the end of next year is when they'll go after Sega. We'll see if this ABK goes through. If ABK goes through, we'll start seeing some stuff the beginning of next year.
Yeah. I'm dying also, from Reverend Pong like just being spammed in the chat right now.
And Caitlin made it funny. Also, like that entire $70 billion, like it's not going to just go straight into gaming. Microsoft's going to probably buy some AI companies and bolster the actual Microsoft side of that, just because like they're not just like this $70 billion is all for gaming. Like they're not going to do that. They're going to split that wherever they need to.
Correct. And the AI is going to be a big push, Jasper, for sure, 100,000%. It already is, but they will use some of that to go get some more for sure. Yep.
Shout out to Rob Don 202 with the $5 says, sorry, but I'm cry over spilled milk, but Xbox wouldn't be in the situation if locked up. I bought Rockstar when they came with GTA 3 in the first place.
Facts. We saw the documentary, Rob Don. Can't argue. They had their shot at getting GTA locked up.
Yeah.
Early. That was a bad mistake right there.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? Think about that possibility, Yep. J Mac, shout out to Gerald Mac, member for 9 months, says hashtag HTL. We get ABK. Right on. What is it? What is HTL? Am I an idiot?
Hit the like.
Hit the like. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm this horrible content creator doesn't even know what that means. Yeah, hit the like button, everybody. Appreciate you watching, guys. Everybody, and if you got those gifted, so make the Pong Souls rain. That's absolutely hilarious. Appreciate you, J Mac. Again, yeah, I think ABK is happening. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to have a fun conversation about it because guess what? We ain't got nothing else to fucking talk about. Like, me and Pong had to come up with the whole different conversation last night about like, well, let's look at the first half of this year and then the second half of this year.
Hey, but it worked. We had a good time.
It was a great conversation because this year rocks with games, right? 2023 is fucking amazing. And it put in perspective when we had that conversation last night, Pong, about how many awesome games are still to come. And as good as this first half has been, all the ones I'm most excited about are second half games, right? So it's just absolutely nuts to think about what's happening this year. And 2024 is going to be probably almost as good as 2023. You know, like with Ubisoft maybe getting back on track. You have that whole Star Wars Outlaws game kind of came out of nowhere. Well, we knew that they were making Ubisoft was making a Star Wars game by Massive, right? But we didn't know it was going to look that good, you know, like, and we didn't know it was going to be 2024 either. So like new games keep getting surprised for us.
And there are going to be sort of surprises this year too, Matt. Like we talked about last night. I didn't even see, Matt. Did you see? Because we talked about this last night, Gamescom, right? With Greenberg. Phil's going to be there personally too.
At Gamescom.
Yeah. He put out a tweet too saying he can't wait to get back there. It's been a long time. Bro, Xbox is going big at Gamescom this year. Again, could it just be a Starfield push? Yeah, it could be. But could we get some surprises? I think so.
Going to Germany to meet up with some people.
Yeah.
But if you go, you're a paid Xbox fan that doesn't really actually like Xbox. You're just going because Xbox paid for
Boxenberger's now on the
flight.
list. He's paid. Boxenberger's going to be there, so he's paid.
I was
he lives in Germany.
Phil going around to different studios over there, but
I know what you're saying. It's just it is different though, the way Greenberg posted that tweet, and then Phil also said, been too long, can't wait to get back to Gamescom. It just seems like Xbox is going all out for a show that they have certainly been at, but haven't had a giant presence. It seems like one of those times, excuse me, that we're seeing when everybody's showing up for a reason, right? That there's something a little extra there this year. So I don't know. We'll see.
We just got a $20 super chat from Anonymous Boss. Very generous. Again, thank you so much. It said, I see there's a Sony pony around here in the chat. Yo, Caitlin, I want to see Mav's magic cookies. You're obsessed with my magic cookies. I hope you mean hope by that you mean my animal crackers.
He means the other
that's what he means.
You don't think so?
No.
I think it's the animal crackers. I think it's the animal crackers. My animal crackers are in the other room. I got to be honest because
no one calls animal crackers magic cookies. Okay, so he's talking about the other.
They're magic. They're magic to me. Now I got to be honest and say I'm a slob. Sorry,
slob. You're a slob. You're schlong is a slob. What?
I'm a slob. I got an old thing over there, but those things are probably stale. Now, does that make a difference with these kind of animal crackers? They probably taste more like cardboard. I don't know. But yeah, I got an old thing right there. Hold on, I'll grab it. Right here, see? But these are like
expired.
Yeah, these are Best
Display
by
purposes only.
September 3rd of 2022.
They will taste the same 20 years from now.
In the corner
Don't worry about it.
of my room over there.
The Twinkie of
They're like Twinkies. I was just gonna say that, Fuzz. Either just
That's
like the
bunker
Twinkies.
food.
Yep, correct.
Yeah.
Good forever. I just saw Treybone 408. Shout out to Treybone. I just saw your your post a little bit a while. He says Hitman spending that money Microsoft has been giving us. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, maybe Hitman's part. You know what? Maybe Hitman is Mav's alt account, and he's actually just gifting subs with his Microsoft money. Maybe that's the.
That's a possibility.
Mav, are you Hitman? Are you Hitman?
Am I Hitman? Am I gifting myself subs?
Yes.
Just giving money to Google.
Because you feel bad now that you took all that money from Microsoft and didn't share it with us. So now you're just trying to give back.
No comment. No, I am definitely not Hitman because that dude is obviously way more generous than I am.
Gaming Forte, what's going on,
amazing.
brother? Petula, what's going on? Great to see everybody.
Forte, your name's white. What's going on? Like the whole chat's green. Like everybody here is green. It's crazy. He just shows up. He showed up late.
Yeah,
obviously.
you missed Santa Claus.
You missed Santa.
Otherwise known as Hitman.
Shout out to Forte. Like it's crazy, bro. But yeah, I appreciate you guys again. Yeah, we have derailed a little bit, but let's get back on track. So we have. I think Microsoft comes out like a caged animal, right? And I think I'm not going to say they're going to just go acquire everybody or whatever, but I'm thinking more likely is Microsoft says Sony's model is okay. You know, we know it cost us more to make these deals. But fuck it. We're going to make them. And we're going to make more of them. And we're going to do
You talking about exclusivity deals
on third-party games, right?
Mm-hmm.
We already know they've had to change the mentality a little bit because they did restructure that contract with Indiana Jones.
Correct.
To make it exclusive. So that was different than they had been doing before. They just honored the existing contracts. Now, to your point, Jasper, before when we talked about this, they would have had to restructure that contract anyway because of Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
But to add in the extra that they would have had to pay to make it exclusive at that point is not necessarily something we would have seen from them before, right? Now, I got to say, when they acquired ZeniMax Bethesda, obviously, according to those leaked documents from Phil, he said we're making all those games exclusive in the future, right? That's another thing, talking about the mentality kind of shift there from good guy Phil, right? So for me, I'm looking at it like, well, if you want us to play by these rules, we're going to play by those rules, but in a way that Sony cannot. And we're going to do things our way. And now maybe that doesn't mean make everything 100% exclusive, right? But maybe it means we're going to get some big ass games for Game Pass or something like that, no matter what it costs.
I don't know how much they go for exclusivity deals. Like, I don't see them going to like a Square Enix or someone like that and being like, hey, we want this game for a year, 2 years or whatever, because that's not really their model anymore. Their model is like they want to own it so they can have it forever in Game Pass, like how Netflix wants to make all their own shows and stuff like that. They want to own the content. So I don't see them switching up necessarily.
They don't own the Indiana Jones.
But they signed I guess.
Yeah.
But they're making it. They're making it though.
Right, they are making it, but still they're not.
It's still in-house. So like I'm assuming they're still like they have some kind of security there where they know they're not going to lose it for a while.
Okay, but still, you know, like they've done deals like that in the past and they got away from it. I think the Indiana Jones is a thought process for them to get back into doing different things, you know. Like, it's not a direct answer.
And the Indiana
Spider-Man,
Jones was on the table before they bought it too. They just switched it up a little bit.
Yes, they already had it.
Yeah.
But let's say Indiana Jones is extremely successful for them. Does that change? Like, do they go into get an exclusive Marvel game, get an exclusive Star Wars game, get an exclusive this or that? You know, it'd be the same thing at that point, right?
If they make it. If they don't make it, that's not exclusive.
But what's the difference? Okay, so let's say they do a co-publishing deal with Sega for a game, and like it's a licensed game or a major super game or whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. Ubisoft.
Maybe
let's say they co-publish with Ubisoft to help them out financially, right? And they do Splinter Cell, right? Like, and
it would be a time exclusive, but it's not going to be permanent exclusive though.
So, because
I could see them changing for Splinter Cell because it has history as an exclusive prior.
Right.
Like I understand the fine line that you think they would go, but I think if this, I wouldn't say it's scorched earth, but if this deal doesn't go through, I can almost guarantee next 10 years they get marketing rights on Call of Duty. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They'll pay to do that,
Activision,
and they'll do special maps, and they'll do skins, and they'll do all the stuff that PlayStation did for the past 10 years, guaranteed. The third-party stuff that they'll do, that they'll make exclusive, that's the tougher one. But I could see a Splinter Cell. I could see a Dead Rising being made exclusive or investing, because there has been rumors of a Dead Rising that's more of a serious tone kind of game in the works before they canceled that. So I could see them doing exclusives on things that have a history being exclusive at one time with them. I don't know if they do a KOTOR, but I think they go back to Disney if Indiana Jones does well, and I think they focus on something relating to Star Wars. And if they can't do it in-house, I could see, depending on how successful Massive is, I could see them working with Ubisoft again and be like, hey, we'll pay the development and employee costs and all that, and we want it on our platform, and that's it. and here's the license from Disney kind of thing. I could see them totally doing stuff like that, but that's if this deal doesn't go through. Not quite scorched earth, but you best believe they're going to wave their or stick their thumb up to, or not their thumb, but they're going to laugh in the face of these regulators that have caused them some headaches, let's just say. And Bobby Kotick not getting his $400 million golden parachute, I'm pretty sure he'll be on board for, making some, Activision deals, and maybe one of those games that was announced as a potential project by like what was it, Infinity Ward or that space game. Maybe it does get an exclusive contract.
With Activision, they know there's more money in being in multiple platforms, like. So
it'll just cost Microsoft more money, and I can see Microsoft willing to pay that more money.
I guess, yeah. But
like not across the board, but
I love how Fuzzy is like making a lot of sense to what you're trying to argue, Jasper. Like it's
because like Activision investors, like once the fucking money starts being like, oh, we got $2 billion this year, we got $2 billion last year. Why are we not getting $3 billion? It's like they're going to be like, oh, we need to put that on PlayStation so we can get more money.
Yeah, but
that's what Activision would do.
Maybe, but maybe that doesn't matter because they're owned by Microsoft at that point. And like,
well, this is if they don't get bought by Microsoft.
Right? Okay, if they don't, yeah. But so exclusivity deals with Activision would be harder, right? But Game Pass deals would be more like
you get exclusive content, but you don't get the whole game.
Right.
I could see them possibly paying for that space game because it's untested. The studio is, great and all, but it's a new IP. If you're expecting to make, let's say, $2 billion in sales overall because of it being a new IP, Microsoft might say, okay, here's $3 billion and it's ours.
Just say it came out like a caged animal. We'll just fucking give money no matter what because we want to destroy PlayStation at that point. I don't know.
I think they would claw back at Sony a good bit at that point, just so that way it makes it harder for Sony in some regards when it comes to these exclusive deals or with the deals that they'll be left with when Microsoft kind of goes for marketing and is like, hey, we want exclusive maps or we want 30 days early access only on our platform. Here's the extra, 10, 20, 30.
I don't see them buying games. I see them just buying studios at that point. If they're going to be spending millions of dollars, why not just buy every studio instead of buy games?
They're definitely going to get studios as well, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Game Pass Dad, Bob, what's up, man? Thanks for joining us, dude.
Yeah, the Microsoft check just cleared tonight, so I can come back and podcast with you guys finally.
I'm glad, I did see you at the store today. We went, me and Kate took a trip to HEB, which is a massive grocery store. I mean, it's fucking huge, right?
Yeah.
And we're walking around, and I was getting my daughter some freezer pops, And then I look up and I see Bob's.
Oh yeah,
pickle
I saw that.
Pops. Bob's pickle pops.
They beat me to the market.
So just seeing Bob's pickle pop and because you're pickle papa, it's just pretty crazy.
That's funny.
Shout out to Focus Active, hit us with a $5. Said, since Hitman is making it rain in here, thought I should give back too. Love the show, FSP fam. I appreciate you, Focus, as well as everybody in the chat. Whether you gift a membership, whether you super chat, whether you just sit there and watch, or whether you stop by and hit the like button, or whether you just show up for a second and be like, okay, this is all right, I'm out. Whatever. I appreciate each and every single one of you for being part of what we do here on the channel. And we're coming up on 3 years.
Now that's a publisher in a week. Go after is Focus Entertainment.
Focus, Focus would be interesting. In a week, we'll have this channel will have existed for 3 years. So coming up on 3 years, and it's been awesome to see the support from the community to kind of help us get to where we are. So you're absolutely awesome. We got already over 100 likes in this show as well. So hit the like button. Share it out, sub the channel, notification bell, all that kind of cool stuff. as well. And you rock, guys. So Bob, we've been playing two realities here.
Yeah.
Okay. And we already went through and discussed the world in which ABK gets closed and they're part of Microsoft, and you know what's all going to happen. We discussed FPS boost, back compat with some of those games, bring in new franchises or old franchises back. How much of the back catalog is going to go into Game Pass? When is that going to happen? All that kind of stuff. And now we're thinking about the reality of what does Microsoft do if the deal does not happen, right? What do we see? What do you think Microsoft's attitude is and approach is going to be going from there?
I feel like if the deal doesn't end up happening, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm trying to remember exactly what I saw as a hypothetical, but I mean, at that point, I feel like it's going to be a lot harder for like companies in general to like pay for exclusivity, or Microsoft might lobby. Like, you don't know what happens in the background, but Microsoft might lobby for maybe some anti-competitive investigations into that type of business practice. So I feel like I'm not really sure what or I guess I've thought more about what the climate might look like if this deal doesn't go through, because I definitely understand the sentiment that like big tech needs to be scrutinized if it's expanding. But for me, this deal makes too much sense as far as competition goes. Like, if this gets blocked, then I feel like it's going to change the landscape as to how game companies do business. But I figure at that point, then maybe they start investing more in smaller studios and acquiring like smaller companies. And at that point, maybe not taking the big swings if they've kind of reached critical mass for what they can get through right now, or maybe they wait until
so give me an example,
different political climate.
Like what size company like would be a first target?
I mean, I would say they'd probably shore up some of their partnership studios that help them develop things. Like, I think Certain Affinity was one that they were trying to make sure that is that already first. That's not first party.
It's not
right
first
now,
party. No.
Yeah,
it might as well be.
I don't want to speak out of pocket,
yeah.
but I think that would probably be their first target, is like getting all the partnership studios under first party so that they don't like strategically lose any grounds in that particular area. But I don't know. I feel like at that point, if they try to purchase like a publisher, which I would say at that point is, I haven't really looked at the numbers recently, but that's probably about as big. Like, Activision's got to be one of the biggest out there. So it's like, if they can't go that high, then maybe they start to look at smaller, more indie developers, or I don't know how big like a developer like or a publisher like Annapurna or something like that would be, but that's like one company that I really like to see them like getting closer ties with, like, because Outer Worlds is like Outer Wilds is one of my first like favorite games, and like Edith Finch and some of the other really interesting games that they've made, I've really enjoyed. But I feel like at that point, if Microsoft's getting too big to where the current climate, like as far as politically, won't let them do these type of deals, then they're definitely going to probably aim a lot smaller. Because if this can't go through, this just makes sense in my book. Like, even when I try and remove myself from it as like a fan of Xbox and like all the cool things that will come from Xbox, like owning Activision and how much ground in the market I feel like they can gain from this, and from the way that Sony's conducting themselves, I feel like there is a chance for a big shift there. I feel like it's going to be a big signal at that point that they need to reconsider how big of an acquisition they can really make at that point.
Yeah. It's good thoughts. I agree with you, except for like I don't know about the size thing and what they might want to do first. Like,
right.
For me, I'm thinking like, I don't know. I want to see this vicious side come out of them at that point.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you guys say we can't acquire Activision Blizzard, too big, you know,
right.
Like we've been trying in this industry, all these things for so long. Sony's come out here and tried to put, a damper on this whole thing for us, and they're doing these deals. Meanwhile, and they even tried to make Starfield exclusive, yet we get criticized by making it exclusive, right? All these different things. So we saw Matt Booty's emails, right? We saw Phil say all ZeniMax stuff exclusive going forward, right? And we've seen that stuff now. And for me, I'm thinking like, they might come out with this different aggressive attitude, and maybe some of the acquisition targets would be straight daggers to the heart of the competition.
Yeah, like go after someone that's close to Sony,
like a Square, like a From Software, right? Like,
well, Bungie being bought by Sony was arguably a pretty low blow at that point. The fact that we couldn't get them back, but
eventually they'll leave Sony, just like they leave everybody.
Yeah, they've proven that they can. If they could leave Microsoft, they could leave anybody.
They left Microsoft, left Activision. Now what do they do next?
I feel like Microsoft, like it would be good to maybe see Microsoft have some more teeth, but I don't feel like that really matches like the type of, like they're kind of more in a kumbaya, like we're your friend and we're bringing, like the main thing is they're bringing the value, and that's really important. So I do think a lot of the viciousness that you would think is going to happen isn't necessarily going to be front page news. It's going to be probably where they put their lobbying dollars, because like as a major corporation, we obviously know that Sony lobbied quite a bit leading up to all these regulatory decisions on what's happening with the ability for Microsoft to buy it in the first place, with where all these arguments are coming from the FTC and the CMA. I don't believe that these governing bodies would have these kinds of positions unless like there actually was someone from Sony or someone acting on behalf of Sony saying like, hey, these are the reasons why these are our concerns. And there must have been probably a lot of lobbying happening behind that if it was such a loud argument in that case. Because why would we?
FTC's been blocking tech deals. Like they blocked Facebook from trying to buy like VR studios.
Were they worried about
on that
Nintendo's point of view or anyone else's? They're worried about Sony's.
No, I'm just saying like,
so yeah,
it's not just Sony paying them.
Right.
FTC's blocking everyone. They don't.
Well, that's why they're also making deals with like Nvidia and other companies in order to make sure that they don't decide to throw their hat in the ring. Because if like Google or Amazon also decided that they wanted to have a piece of this, they probably have their own ways of trying to manipulate things in the back end. But I feel like it'd be more like business things that we're not quite as savvy to for their strategies or finding a way to be more aggressive. I feel like if they can't get it to pass in like this regulatory climate, then being more aggressive by buying up more large companies is going to be obviously a really hard mountain to climb at that point, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see them like the second it closes, them opening their checkbook and just sending checks to like 10 different studios. They're going to be play it smart and be like, well, we know if we try to buy this studio, we're going to have to fight this shit.
3 the next. And over the period of like 4 or 5 years, they're going to get like 8 to 10 studios probably.
Well,
maybe
if
2
marketing
publishers.
and
I don't know.
Exclusivity deals are the new norm, then I could see Microsoft probably adapting that strategy a bit more to build out Game Pass's library, possibly. I don't think it's necessarily what they want to do, so I think that's like would be the last thing they possibly would. And I don't really think that this deal is going to get blocked. Like, I don't think Microsoft would attempt to make this deal if they thought it would actually be able to be blocked. Because I mean, I'm sure they have an army of lawyers working on it. So it's just, I don't know. I don't really see that being a world we have to live in, thankfully.
Yeah. Pong, what the hell's going on with you and my wife in the chat? Huh?
She's calling me Zaddy, so I had to tell her to stop. So
Zaddy Pong,
your charm is causing me problems.
How's your week?
I'm not doing a damn thing. I claim innocence here.
I was trying to prop you up and give you all these great comments.
Maybe that was your fault.
Told you made my whole week and all this stuff early on in the show, and now you see what's happening. And
but I don't have Microsoft money, so you should be fine.
Stupid sexy Pong soul.
Yeah, damn it, Pong. Shout out to Epic Treasure with the $5 saying great as always. Super appreciate that, Epic. That's amazing.
Thank you, Epic.
Support. Traybone 408 with the $2 says, get Sega, then Netflix, use the IPs for it equals money. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Rob the Don 202 with the $10. Again, appreciate you, Rob the Don says, I know Microsoft and their investors want big, sexy names like Bong Sol, and immediate big cash returns. I honestly would get Shinji Mikami, make him the head of Xbox East because he has obvious talent for fostering young talent. Interesting thoughts. Shinji Mikami's retired now from Tango. Who knows what he's doing next? He's probably going to go do something else, but not a bad idea.
He's eating sushi.
Yeah.
Going on vacation, eating sushi.
What would it take to get Shinji Mikami to come back? Say, hey, run our whole Eastern Division, right? Like that's
a
great
Brinks
idea.
truck.
A Brinks truck, yeah. Rob the Don 202 with the $10 says, get several independent studios like Stellar Blade only because I don't know how would truly become a part of the Xbox ecosystem besides buy a game here and there if they buy Sega or Square, right? Good point. As well. Hitman with the $2 says Microsoft buys Game Freak. Love it. Chris Jones with the $2 says body yada 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 yada. Right on. Love that one. I think Chris is just trying to get me to say something stupid.
Probably. That's what he does.
Yeah. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate you, bro. So yeah, okay, so what about WB Discovery, right? We've put this out there before. Now, supposedly people out there think that there's some kind of a deal already in place with Universal or something, and after the certain amount of time expires, that's going to happen, right? But we do know beforehand, wasn't Microsoft in talks with them, and maybe they were trying to prop their value up or something like that. They said they're no longer for sale, and then they ended up doing this merger with Discovery, right? And becoming their own company, splintering off from AT&T or WB Discovery at that point, right? So now that we have WB Discovery as its own entity, right? We already know what's happening with some of their movies. The Flash.
But how could Sony compete when they own Batman?
What?
It's because it's the whole FTC argument.
Okay, right. How can FTC? Yeah, sorry. I was like, Jasper, shut up. Like, what are you talking about? You trying to be like, you trying to poo poo on this thing? FTC minion. Yeah, I know. I get what you're doing now. So hypothetically, right, in that world, it's a smaller acquisition than Activision Blizzard. Much smaller. Not even in the same ballpark. And at that point, does that have you could maybe get that to go through. Would that be considered a horizontal acquisition though, because of the movies and TV stuff?
They don't have a big enough presence for it to make a difference. Right? Because they don't have a presence in that at all. So in that market, so they'd be fine doing that. Right. That's what we always talked about, right, Mav? Whenever we talked about WB Discovery, is because it would work. Because they could argue whatever they want to argue, but the fact is that Microsoft doesn't have a presence. They closed down all their studios, their production studios, when they were going to go TV. So right now, they should be allowed to move into that space. And that would be the primary reason, right, that you go get WB Discovery. Obviously, the IP, we know that, right, but most of it's transmedia IP in comics, in movies, in TV. So there would be no reason why they would stop that. Again, obviously, we see there's no reason they should stop ABK, but just saying, generally speaking, like you just said, it's a smaller deal. It wouldn't be as much. They'd be moving into industries that they don't have a presence. And the game part of it is very, very small, comparatively speaking. So yeah, no, it would make a lot of sense. And we saw it. They were on the Christmas list, right?
Yeah.
So they were on the wish list. So yeah.
If that happened, that'd be insane. That would be, I think, for most gamers, like a bigger win in a way. Like,
be huge.
I think Call of Duty would still be a bigger win than just WB.
I'm talking about from the gamers side, right? Because Xbox games, Call of Duty is already, and all that stuff. And I know
that's why
the WB games
that's why I'm
are
saying
too.
It would be a bigger win, because Call of Duty is more people care about Call of Duty than like Arkham Knight,
but you get Batman as an exclusive on Xbox to compete against Spider-Man, right? That alone is a huge thing. Like, imagine a Batman themed Xbox coming out with the next big Batman game in the Arkham series, Rocksteady.
But Xbox doesn't do theme consoles anymore, so
Well, maybe they will.
Just
If
for
they
charity.
had
they won't even do it for
Batman-
Starfield, bro. Come on.
They did it for Halo Infinite.
Oh, they
Yeah,
added
but that
some
was-
little white dots on it.
Yeah, they added a bunch of little gold stuff to it. Like what? They haven't done like a real themed one and for how long? Outside of the giveaways, right? The contests, they've done those.
Yeah.
You guys just give me a rattle can of spray paint. I'll make you some custom Xboxes real quick. Don't you worry.
Nice. I'd love to see that. You know, the thing is that the Xbox Series X seems so easily customizable because it's like a huge fucking wall of blank slate canvas you could just do whatever you want with, right?
Yeah, I'm making vinyl wraps right now as we speak. So
Yes,
So,
Black Krillin, they would own all the DC comics. They would own the entire comic section.
Yeah.
They would own all the IP. Wonder Woman doesn't everything. Superman, it's all theirs. Yeah.
And they would
WB
also
Watchmen
market
comes
cap
back,
is
I could probably
30
make
billion,
that.
so you're probably paying 45 billion.
you also have all the TV networks to be able to put all your content on. You like Max, right? So you instead of doing deals with Showtime and Paramount or Amazon and all those different things they're doing right now, you automatically have a built-in thing. Let's say, okay, they could do a bundle deal for subscription services between Max and Game Pass as well, like kind of like Disney does with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN, right? Game Pass and Max is this much. You get a discount, you know? There's so many different possibilities there. I think, in gaming wise, Mortal Kombat, Batman, beyond that, it's not there's the DC
Lego
games. You know, the late, yeah. What other big games WB Discovery making now, right? Besides DC stuff.
well, they'll have Monolith's Nemesis engine too.
They'll have Monolith's
Yeah.
Nemesis engine, but they don't have the rights to Lord of the Rings anymore, right? Because that's owned by Embracer Group.
They're
Yeah.
friends.
But they are friends. So I wonder, like, what other franchises could come out of that from the history.
All of DC, so endless possibilities there.
We
And Injustice as well, because you get all.
do
you
we
get
mention
NetherRealms.
Matrix?
Matrix is WB.
Fucking, you're forgetting one of the biggest games this year. Fucking Hogwarts.
Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
course. You'd have that
Hogwarts Legacy 2, whenever that comes out, because I think it's inevitable, right? That game's going to happen. When that comes out, that's going to be absolutely massive. It's going to be a
Mhm.
huge deal.
Oh yeah.
And that could be potentially an exclusive as well if they were to pull that trigger.
as long as they have a good story.
As long as they have a good story.
Yeah, because this one has the ancient magic. So
Yeah.
how are you gonna really go? So it has to be something really thought out and that's outside of rehashing ancient magic, unless they figure out there's like something and within the actual characters, like further along in the Hogwarts universe, because I kind of wish they go back to the prequels, like kind of
Yeah.
go like the day one of Hogwarts, doing like the Slytherin, all the headmasters or the head people that had the houses and how it really started. So
Right. Chris Jones with $2 says, gonna buy my Starfield controller soon. That's awesome, man.
Nice.
I have mine.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. Pong
It
has
is.
his right behind him as
Yep.
well.
Do you use it, or does it sit there?
It sits there for right now.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll see. I haven't decided yet.
Because you've been playing so much
it's
on
so
your
pretty.
PC. You don't even
No,
need a controller anymore.
actually
You
haven't
don't want
been.
to. You don't want to stain that thing.
I've got a controller for the PC. No, I don't want to stand there. I don't
You-
want to get
you-
stick drift. I'm going to be pissed.
You use the Xbox controller for the PC, right, Pong?
Well, I've got an Xbox. Yeah, I've got a Turtle Beach wired one for the
Okay.
PC.
Right on. Adney and I'm going to make sure I say the name. Adney and Grand with the $10, very much appreciated. And I love the profile picture there. Adney said, "Forgot Marvel and DC. Xbox, or sorry, he said, forget Marvel and DC. Xbox should get Invincible, Darkman, The Shadow, Big Team Battle Halo equals G.I. Joe. Replace Titanfall mechs with Autobots, Decepticons. Give us Thundercats, He-Man, Mask, acquire the 80s. Fuck yeah, dude. How about acquire Hasbro?
That would be like their worst acquisition.
Acquire Hasbro.
Fucking, we're in the
dude.
toy market now.
No, dude. Fuck. I mean, he's speaking to my heart. You want to say something that'd be amazing is Xbox owning all those IPs and then putting studios behind those games. That'd be great. Because, you know, out of all the licensed stuff we've got recently, that's been great. There's been like the G.I. Joe game was like a 360 era budget style, like kind of licensed crap thing, right? It was all right, but you mentioned Thundercats, okay?
Oh,
Yes, Narf. Thundercats. Dude, yes. I mean, just make that the biggest IP in Xbox history at that point. Thundercats.
The amount of money you'd have to invest in that to make that the biggest IP.
I don't care. That would be amazing. That and Transformers. By the way, see the Transformers movie, guys. It's really good. The newest one. Are you going to see that, Pong, or are you too jaded still? Have you too much of an old man?
What?
See Transformers Rise of the Beast?
No, I won't watch it. If I catch it on streaming at some point, then I'll sit and watch it. But again, what he did to Transformers, whatever. Again, just not my Transformers. So
this one's a little bit more up your alley, I'll say.
Bro, they still bleed.
What?
Transformers don't bleed. I'm sorry.
They bleed oil, Pong. Come on.
I can't. I just can't with this. I can't with what they did. I actually liked the first couple of them, and then it just was like, okay, I'm done.
I don't know if Pong would like that ending though. Other than it would be.
Oh, yeah. With you mean the like end credit scene?
Yeah. I don't think Pong would like that.
Well, like I said, if I ever catch it on streaming, I'll sit and watch it. It's not like I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna watch this garbage. Like I'll sit and actually watch it, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch it for sure. I've heard it's much better than the other ones.
Have they mentioned anything about that Thundercats movie again? Because they're supposed to be making the guy that did Godzilla versus Kong, the last one, is supposed to be making a Thundercats animated
that doesn't give
movie.
me much hope.
You didn't like that one?
To that the Division
Godzilla
movie.
versus Kong was kind of fucking ass.
The last one? Come on, everybody
It
loves
was
that.
The one where
good.
they went into Hollow Earth and like revived him with some spaceships or some shit. That was fucking stupid.
Spoilers,
Spaceships.
Jasper. Come on, man.
It's like a 2-year-old movie.
it was a submarine with nuclear
that's better.
radiation. Nuclear radiation. It was very plausible for having, being a fucking giant lizard. But yeah.
Right on. We did go off track there. Invincible, Darkman, The Shadow. I mean, these are great fucking IPs here and stuff. That would be awesome to see. But unfortunately, I don't know if we're gonna get it. He's didn't even mention He-Man. But I think
like
Batman is still bigger than all those combined. As far as popularity goes.
From the video games for sure, absolutely.
Well, even for the movies, like Batman is huge.
They're huge. It's huge. Yeah,
Where does Batman rank in the most popular superhero characters and most popular characters in any kind of media? Where does Batman
I would
rank?
say he's lower today than he was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, Spider-Man's probably like up there as like like Spider-Man the most popular?
Yeah.
Superhero most popular character in all of media potentially. Like
I don't know about
who's
media,
more
but
popular than Spider-Man?
Depending on who you ask.
James Bond, maybe. Like,
Deadpool.
You asking like a fucking
Batman?
60-year-old?
Who's more popular than Spider-Man? Superman, back in the day, yes.
I
Like,
think
Batman-
Spider-Man's the most popular.
I say Batman would be take Spider-Man for its money.
Maybe
Uh,
Iron Man. But
Yeah, Iron Man.
I would think Iron Man's more popular than Batman now.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but because he was elevated to that before those movies, like Iron Man wasn't even on the radar for popularity, like with movies or anything like that. Like he was decently popular in some in
Duke
comic books. And
in the
stuff.
chat says Darth Vader. I would think Darth Vader's probably more popular than.
Darth Vader more popular than Spider-Man?
I think everybody
Yeah.
would say that. I would. Yeah.
Luke Skywalker? Or no?
looks
No, I
like
think Darth
as of
Vader just
2020.
Aren't they,
because he's
Luke?
like.
No.
I think Darth Vader gets it just because he's like. Just like the whole like where he's like, I am your father. That scene kind of just like put Darth Vader on the map. I think for a lot of people.
Kate said the Island Boys. Was
Dude,
this
they're
like,
solving
so
crimes.
that's so a year ago. That's so a year ago.
That was like
So COVID.
2 years
3
ago.
years ago. Yeah, remember that was one of our original laugh
it was a-
on
yeah.
freaking chat. Remember when we heard it for the first time?
We the
couldn't
Island
stop.
Boys. Yeah.
Island Boys.
Oh god.
In the Island Boys.
Xbox party and could not stop
Yeah, we
laughing.
fucking couldn't stop
Oh, my
laughing.
God.
Yeah.
He was in some Island Boys, I guess, too.
Whoa.
We're the Xbox boys.
Yeah, that made my whole week. There were I gotta say, I don't know. I think Spider-Man is more popular than Darth Vader.
We could look it up.
Don't.
I mean, Spider-Man wasn't really like totally popular until the video game and the movies. Like the movies really brought him to the forefront.
Yeah, but the Spider-Man movie's been going on since the early 2000s. You know?
Yeah. And that's what really got Spider-Man popular in the pulp, kind of like pulp culture. But back then, really, it was like,
Yeah, I guess like Darth Vader probably for the younger crowd is not as much like the super young crowd.
yeah, like our age, Vader definitely.
Kate just
More
asked
Batman.
Alexa, and Alexa said Superman.
See?
There you go. The most popular character in the world is Superman.
Yeah, if you ask fucking 40 years ago.
Is it really though? Is it still Superman? You guys think?
I don't think
No.
DC's
I
even
see-
on the map anymore.
I see a lot of Superman stuff everywhere.
I
Like-
think Batman's bigger than Superman, though.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just don't.
don't know.
DC's not even on the map for me anymore.
There's like
That's the
10. There's like 10 Batman movies for every Superman movie. It seems like, right?
So
And they all
according to the Google Trends, Spider-Man is the most searched. Darth Vader's way, way down. And then Batman's second most popular. Superman's third most popular out of those four currently.
Okay.
Top three, it's 2 DC and 1 Marvel.
Well, and then Darth Vader's in there
Well,
somewhere.
I haven't searched any more Marvels. Iron Man, I think, is the next one. Which Iron Man is way down the trends.
It's an interesting conversation to
Down
have
by Darth
because
Vader.
if Batman's number 2, it's worth going out and getting being able to get exclusivity on Batman games.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
That's
what I
a
mean?
good point. I think so.
Because the Spider-Man's
The IP
locked
is
up.
definitely
Well,
valuable.
Spider-Man's not entirely locked up. There's a possibility Microsoft could get a deal to make a Spider-Man game because Sony doesn't have full exclusivity on Spider-Man the character, right?
Also, like, how far back does that Google Trends thing go? Because like they just had Spider-Verse come out, so like
That's just like recently though. But I mean the trend over I don't know, I just backed out of it. Let me take a look.
Kate says Siri said Juana Man is number 1. You need to get Siri. You need to get Siri checked out. It doesn't surprise me. Siri's not the
Here, let's
best.
look over 5 years.
Alvin with a $5 super chat says my list of top 20 comic characters would only have one hero, Beta Ray Bill. I'm almost always team villain. Make a villain game for a change. Well, they are making the Suicide Squad game, right? And that's not doesn't have the most hype right now after the last showing of it. They delayed it to rework it, and I don't know exactly how they're going to change it too much, but we'll see.
Well, they had their opportunity to show Beta Ray in either Loki or the God of Love and Thunder, but they never got to it. So
yeah,
I feel like Batman peaked though at the end of the Christian Bale series. Like that's Batman's peak.
Mm-hmm.
But it has the potential to be. I mean, if they do it right, it could be just as big now. Like again, but they have to. When the last Batman movie came out, there was so much hype around it.
No.
So
there was really no, not. I'd look at. I mean,
what did I tell you was going to happen, man? Everybody was going to not talk about it after it came out. What happened? Nobody fucking talks about that fucking movie anymore.
There was a really exciting lead up.
You were hyped.
I was extremely hyped. I liked it at the theater.
It was a terrible cast.
I liked it at the theater, and then when I rewatched it at home, I hated it.
Oh, welcome to Solo all over again. Weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Chris
I
Jones,
struggled to watch that movie. I'd had to pause it like 15 times to finish that.
Yeah. Chris Jones with the $2 says Tobey Maguire greater than Tom Holland.
Yes, facts. Thank you.
Right now, yes, but in a few years, probably not.
Here's something interesting with the Google Trends though. When I did expand it out to 5 years, it does look like for more of that time over the past 5 years, Batman has trended higher than Spider-Man generally up until more recently.
Yeah, because Spider-Man's coming to its peak.
But Darth Vader's still in the fucking dumpster. So
Luis Jose said, so about gaming, I get you. But like the point of this conversation is to see what would be the effect for Xbox if they owned the rights to Batman.
It'd be gigantic. There's no question about it. Just whether or not he's bigger than Spider-Man or whatever the case, or whatever you want to argue, doesn't matter. It would still be giant.
It's all about how you deliver it. Like
correct.
Yeah. I think it's still important though to think about like this is how Microsoft though would be thinking about the targets of what they want to put money into. Like they're not gonna go and like put money into like an unknown franchise if they're looking for like a household name or something. Like Batman would make a lot of sense. Like let's see where Indiana Jones is.
Oh God,
they better not.
He's not even like a peak on that bar.
I also do a search for the Punisher.
Indiana Jones is trending up quite a bit since the beginning of June.
Yeah,
that's because the movie.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it's hype for a little bit.
Yeah,
but
about a month.
Aside from that, lower than Darth Vader.
I feel like if Rocksteady's next game that they had announced was an Arkham game, it would have been massive hype, right? Instead of the Suicide Squad.
Not if they showed the same kind of game for Arkham. Like if they took the Suicide Squad gameplay and like put that in Arkham, people like would still complain.
Didn't people even switch games or something? Like didn't the studio switch at one point? Like wasn't the WB want to say Batman Forever, but yeah. I could have sworn they had to switch 2 or 3 years in development.
Even Arkham Knight, like people complained about that game, like so.
Yeah, but Arkham Knight was huge. It was insane.
Or not Arkham. I mean Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights didn't have Batman. I mean, like you know what I mean. So,
like people were starting to hate the movement of Arkham with Gotham Knights. Like that's the thing, though. But
I think somewhat yes, but I feel like it was really different than Arkham with the movement style. Actually playing it, the combat didn't have that magnetism type style to it. It was more just free flowing and stuff. So it was different. Like originally, I thought that it was going to be similar, but it's actually more different than I thought. But it's still fun. I think more so with Gotham, it's just not as popular because it's not a Batman game. You know, like the Arkham games are single player, story based, Batman. You know, and you're playing as a sidekicks, right? It's just not going to hit the same. And the Suicide Squad, yeah, it's cool. People are excited to play it. A lot of people are, but it's not a Batman game. You know.
Also, no one gives a shit about Suicide Squad, like the IP in general. It's just like,
yeah, they've been really forcing that down our throats, right? With the movies and now the game.
James Gunn. Sorry.
Well, even the game isn't have anything to do with him, right? Like I don't know if that was a WB decision or a.
It seems like it might be like they're trying to answer the whole Guardians of the Galaxy buddy comedy, like tag team duo. Yeah.
I'm still saying though, what Xbox needs to do is go get an exclusivity deal with Marvel and get X-Men.
Yep. Or the Punisher.
Can they also get the original like X-Men
Xbox
cartoon song? Because that song went hard.
They should have a game made after that cartoon is what they should do. So
and the old school Spider-Man. Maybe they could get the old school Spider-Man.
Make it like
cartoon,
Hogwarts
right?
Legacy, where it's your first day in the school of mutants.
Let's go. But the whole time that song has to play in one way, shape, or form. Maybe remix it. Like,
did the continuation ever come out on Disney Plus yet? I remember that they were doing that.
97. No,
yeah. Okay. So that's an IP, right? And now I know Marvel's going to do something with it eventually with the MCU at some point. But since Disney's owned it, it's been dormant, right? X-Men was one of the most popular brands in the world, has become a dormant franchise, right? There's an opportunity there because X-Men is insanely popular. Maybe not as much right now, but it's my favorite Marvel thing, right? My two favorite things in the comic book animated like world is, you got Batman and the Flash, not this past movie, but Batman and the Flash, and then on the Marvel side, X-Men.
But it's going to be hard because Sony took the biggest name out of the entire X-Men with Wolverine.
But that's just one movie. It doesn't have the whole X-Men. It's okay. You can
I know, but I'm just saying, like, Wolverine's bigger than the X-Men.
Yeah. But, you could say, well, Marvel before, like, with the whole Avengers and all that stuff, Iron Man wasn't one of the most popular. You can take one of these characters, and if you do things right, they can prop them up, So, Gambit. Just focus everything around Gambit, and you're going to be okay. That's all we ask. Right?
Selfish.
Just make a Souls-like around Gambit.
Yeah, so everything Gambit. Just make a whole, like, a 10-game franchise off of Gambit. You're going to be good. Dirk Griggy says X-Men greater than the Avengers. I 100% agree, bro.
1000%.
Not necessarily the movies.
No, but that's not their fault. But we talked about this before too in some of our Fun Pop discussions, is that when I grew up, Avengers was like the B team. Like nobody I knew read Avengers comics. Everybody read X-Men comics. Like, and I don't know if it was regional or whatever the case may be, but Avengers used to be the B team. It just so happens that they did the movies right, and now the Avengers are the most popular.
Yeah.
Sucks.
X-Men is like so underutilized right now, man. Fox fucked things up for that,
Way fucked it up. Although great casting, which we also talked about, they did great casting, but the writing was awful.
Yeah. So we'll see where it goes.
Movies were fun though.
Yeah, well, Deadpool, Hugh Jackman's coming back as Wolverine for that.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, out of everything we can criticize about the X-Men movies and all that stuff, Hugh Jackman was just fucking amazing Wolverine.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just, there's never, he's kind of like one of those characters that just is perfect, and it's hard to imagine anybody else in that role because they portrayed it for so long. It's like Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones for me, right? I see Hugh Jackman is fucking Wolverine.
Did they also confirm Garner's coming back as Elektra too?
Did they really?
Yes, I think that just happened today. She's coming back for Elektra and Deadpool. That's freaking awesome.
What would be insane is if we saw Elektra. Ben Affleck make a little multiverse cameo as Daredevil instead of the
that would be
I forget the
awesome.
actor.
Netflix dude.
I forget the name of him, but he's officially part of the MCU now. But it'd be funny to see that happen. But anyway, we've been rambling about this stuff for a while. I think it'd be insane. if ABK gets shot down, the possibilities for Xbox are still amazing, right? But I think it's going to get approved. I think we're going to get the deal done, and I think we'll be talking more about everything that's going to happen
goes
within
to
that
show you,
first
like,
half.
they made an entire Avengers game, and that was like the fucking most popular like superhero shit at the time, and that game fucking sucks. So it just all depends on how you make the game at the end of the day.
Yeah, because the Guardians of the Galaxy game was great.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get everybody out of here. Chat, I don't know what to tell you, chat, but you guys have been absolutely bananas tonight. You're absolutely incredible. Everything, all the support, just made my whole week. Thank you guys. You rock, and appreciate you so much. But let's get the panel out of here. Fuzzy, tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
Oh, just want to thank you for having me on. Awesome time here with you guys. Chat is awesome as always. For those that just want to hear my rambles and rants on anything gaming, just follow me on Twitter or any other social media platform, Fuzzy_Belvedere or Fuzzy Belvedere, all one word. You can also find me on the Shop Podcast tomorrow with Pong and PTK Blam on PTK Blam's channel at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night. And then right back here on Fun Speculation Network at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday for FSP. Look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks, Fuzz. What about you, Jasper?
Yo, check it out. I feel like I'm missing something, like, because my past like 3 intros have all just been fucked up. Like, so I'm just like, I feel like I'm missing something. But Lord Jasper Twitter, Lord Master Jasper YouTube, AI Game News Twitter, all that fun stuff. Monday, Friday, 10 o'clock, FSP and Xbox Ultimate right here on the Fun Speculation Network. Yeah.
Thanks, Jasper. Appreciate you, bro. Psycho Knots, where can everybody find you, sir?
Just want to say thank you for everyone for coming out. Chat, you guys were fantastic. Thank you to Agent 47 for gifting all those member subs. You're fantastic. Yeah, you can find me on social media, Psychonauts8. Find me here Mondays, FSP at 10 o'clock, and Friday, always having a great time. And thank you for making Mav's whole week.
Yeah, appreciate you, Psycho. We got a $2 super chat from Spartan661, said Rogue is so underrated. What is your opinion? 100%.
Rogue.
That was another thing they completely fucked up in the X-Men movies.
Yes. Terrible.
Great
casting.
cast. The
I
casting
thought
was
she was
great.
terrible.
The casting was great. What
She wasn't that great.
But what they had her do, and like, there's nothing. She didn't have any relevancy with her powers in the movies. Like, they just like made her weak. But but who they cast could have been amazing, I thought.
They didn't even have her like speaking like southern accent, like "Hey, sugar," and like.
Oh, okay, that's a good point.
Her casting and Jean Grey's casting were both freaking absolute.
Would you want them to cast Reba McEntire? I mean, like,
yeah.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, Sasha
What was her name? She as the older Jean Grey, that was perfect casting, but the young, the girl cast,
God,
that was horrible.
The girl from Game of Thrones.
Horrible.
Yeah,
I didn't. Anna Paquin was Rogue, right? I didn't mind her as Rogue. I just didn't like what they did with the character, right?
She needed the puffy hair. That's why they just need to do that X-Men 97 and kind of do something after that, like not animated, kind of bring that whole X-Men kind of needs that comic book feel with Wolverine actually having Wolverine's fucking outfit and not being Logan for 17 movies. And it just, I don't know.
Who would you cast as Rogue, Pong?
I don't even know, because I haven't even thought about it. I don't know who I would have. I just know that wasn't her. That wasn't her. Like, again, thinking back to when I was reading Uncanny, because I always go back to Uncanny. You guys got to remember that. Uncanny X-Men is my generation. So that's what I read, which is different, right? But that Rogue just did not fit what that girl was like at all. Even as a younger version of Rogue, that wasn't who Rogue was.
No,
Like,
I agree with but that's
Yeah.
not necessarily the actress.
but I didn't like,
you know.
yeah, but I didn't like how she portrayed it. But it is partly her. Her on-screen presence didn't give me Rogue vibes, whatever that means, just from reading the comics, right? Whereas, like I said, the original, like the older style X-Men, right? The casting that they did there, I really liked a lot of the casting they did there, right? It just felt more like the comics. It just didn't match. So I don't know. It would be a hard question to answer right off the top of my head.
Fair enough.
I'd have to go look. Yeah, sorry.
All right, Bob, where can everybody find you, sir?
I'm gonna borrow Jasper's. Yo, check it out. No.
yo.
No, it's a great time to be an Xbox gamer. I'm so glad to always get a chance to hang out with you guys when I can. Sorry that I've been busy, waiting on Xbox's check to clear, but we made it tonight. But gonna try and make sure I'm here more often. Thank you, Mav, for always welcoming me in. Pong, Fuzzy, Jasper, Psycho. Thank you guys always for being here as well. And it's just amazing to see what you guys have built along with the amazing community. Thank you everyone for listening in live and everywhere else. But you can find me on Twitch. You can find me on Twitter. You can now find me on Threads. We're going to Zuck's hellscape as well. Game Passed out on every platform. Check out my YouTube. Check out my Twitter. Find me on Twitch when I'm live. I'm not streaming as much lately, or my podcast on YouTube as well, Girl Push-Ups. I appreciate you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, right on, man. Appreciate it, Bob and Pong Soul.
Yes, sir.
Where can everybody find you?
You guys all know the drill. Thanks for another beautiful and fabulous Friday night right here on Xbox Ultimate Brothers. You guys were all amazing. Great to have Pickle Papa show up, even if late. Your presence, sir, changes the entire show, and I love the energy you come in with. Absolutely. And chat, yes, you all were absolutely just fantastic tonight. You always are, but tonight was extra special because we didn't have a big news week, right? And so when we come here with topics that we kind of just make up off the cuff and just kind of ramble and talk about things, and you guys are contributing, you're enjoying, and obviously, you know, we're going sideways. That's a good point here, but but it is great to see that kind of interaction
tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
On a
even
slow
on
news
these
week, to still have the chat as active into the conversation is amazing.
It is, and it's a testament to all of you. So thank you for showing up. Nothing but love and respect to each and every single one of you that join us, whether you lurk or whether you are here talking to us. Hey, love you all the same. So thanks for that. Obviously tomorrow morning, it's coming real soon here, and it's going to be living split screen time. And Steel has done a lot of work behind the scenes to try to make sure technical difficulties outside of anything YouTube throws at us or OBS throws at us are fixed. So tomorrow morning we go live yet again, and we should have a full show, 3+ hours. Buckle up tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time, living split screen. Split screen is all one word. Be there. We're going to go live, raw, and uncut as we do every Saturday that we possibly can. Can't wait to see you all there. And then, of course, tomorrow night, like Fuzzy said, PTK Blam's channel. That's right, Blam, Fuzzy, and myself. And right now, we don't have any guests, Fuzzy. A rare week without guests. But again, slow news week, so it's going to be the three of us. We're going to have a great time. Blam's audiences have been growing as well. A lot of you are starting to show up on Saturday nights. It's a beautiful thing to see because Blam deserves it. We have a great time on Saturday night. So 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central Time, the Shop Podcast. Be there. Otherwise, next week it starts all over again. You guys all know the drill. Xbox Factor Podcast every Tuesday. All good things green. Double Barrel Gaming is the channel. Mr. Boomstick's the man, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time every Tuesday. Always has a great panel and a great time. And then Thursday, right back here, it starts PM in the PM. Pong and Mav in the PM. If you didn't check out last night's episode, please do. Again, we run down the first half and the second half, what's coming up. And it got crazy because Mav and I didn't realize how many games are even in the second half.
Yeah.
We knew it was big, but then you start going through the list and it's like, oh my God, how are we going to play all these? We're not. So go check that show out. Otherwise, it's the golden age of gaming, people. Get out there, play what you love what you play. Have a fantastic weekend. And I'm going to talk to you all real soon.
Yeah. Thanks, Pong. Appreciate you. What's that go?
Oh, no, I was going to tell Pong, check your DMs.
Check my DMs. Thanks. It better not be a D or a foot pick. I don't want to.
But yeah, everybody, thanks again for watching. If you do like to listen on audio platforms, make sure You check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, lots of different places you can listen to Xbox Ultimate Podcast. And thank you to all the audio listeners as well. You guys rock. I know you're out there, so appreciate you. And tomorrow I will be making an appearance on Go Live Game on Daily and with Gaz and Asa and those guys. So looking forward to that. So check us out there tomorrow. And also we'll be back for Mondays on Fun Speculation Podcast at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursday nights with that man Pong Soul. And then Fridays here every week for Xbox Ultimate Podcast at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And besides that, maybe a Mavcast every once in a while, just kind of randomly shoot the shit, whatever. I can guarantee you, if there's some kind of news that happens on a Tuesday or Wednesday and not a regularly scheduled night show regarding this closing of FTC or the judge decision, it's probably going to be a solo stream at some point. But appreciate you all for being here, and you all rock. The support again is greatly appreciated, never expected, and I hope you all have a fucking fantastic night. Take it easy.
Later, all.
Bye.
And Psycho, yes.
Yeah, that would be it.
Oh.